welcome to FreeThinkers Fireside, where we put the human in humanness, one cozy chat at a time. My name is Helen, also known as House Bells. So it's Pride Month, awesome sauce. So I thought that since it is Pride Month, I would have some wonderful people, part of the queer community, to join me on my show this month. So we're gonna say hi to all of the cool people, all the cool, sexy people that I know. So I'm going to go around, have everybody introduce themselves. Bo, you can start.
Hi, I'm Bo. I'm a friend of Helen. I'm just kind of here, not doing too much. That's about it.
What do you do? Like, show your shit.
Honestly, right now, just adult content. Like, I do OnlyFans stuff. I do like companion work, so like it goes beyond like sexual stuff, just like someone to talk to, stuff like that.
You are
even in like the non-adult content creation spaces like Twitch or YouTube right now.
Okay, awesome. All right. And how are you a member of the queer community?
I am a trans man and I am gay.
Awesome.
Yay.
Right. Yay. Woo. All right, Ben, go.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ben. I'm in a lot of places. I'm on Talk Then. I'm on the Transatlantic Collins Show. I have my own YouTube channel, my own Twitch channel. Gonna be starting up actually after this recording for Holy Spirits, which will be a new channel coming soon. And I'm a trans guy. I'm also like biromantic ace. So I'm a lot of things on under the umbrella.
Awesome. All right. And AJ? Thank you. By the way, Ben.
Okay, me. Oh, okay. I thought you were going down the other way. Shop. I have a channel called Voice to Human. I do like debunking religious beliefs with science mostly. I'm not a scientist, not a professional, just like concepts. You can find me there. I do a lot of live shows, and I'm also the nonprofits with you, Helen, a little bit sometimes. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, and how am I part of the queer community? Growing up, I consider myself bisexual, but then coming into the 80s space, I discovered that I'm actually pansexual. So, and I have a kid who is gender fluid, non-binary kiddo.
Awesome. All right. Cool. All right. Martin. Go.
Hi, my name's Martin. My username up there, extra shot please, is my Instagram handle. I told Helen, don't worry about actually putting a link up. There's nothing to see other than cats and me and my husband. So anyway, if that's appealing to you, go right ahead. Yeah, I right now I'm kind of in between jobs. I have someone lined up coming soon. I work in sales. And I also used to volunteer a lot in the atheist community. Less so now, unfortunately, but this is me trying to get back out there again. And thank you, Helen. And I'm a member of the LGBTQ community because I'm a gay man.
Awesome. All right. And Bree. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Bree. I have a channel called Hive Sci, where I do a weekly live show called Live from the Hive. We generally do some debunking of cryptozoology, paranormal, supernatural, conspiracy type claims like that. We do a couple different segments throughout the show. It's a really fun time. We keep things pretty light. So come check that out, have a laugh, learn some science, and learn how to critical think over there. And then on Thursday nights, I host a weekly news show with Stephanie Helms and Brubel Rad and Carly Chardonnay Webb called the Transpositions Weekly, where we bring you updated information about the world of trans and queer people and how things are going. And I'll give you spoilers. They're not going great here lately. So we try to sprinkle in good news every single week. So every single week we'll have something positive for you if you want to stop by and hang out in the transmission. If you're feeling that the things that we will keep you updated on the horde things that are transpiring as well, but we'll try to give you something positive as well every single week. And we are the only channel, as far as I'm aware, that's covering transgender athletes specifically and wholly, and we do almost anywhere from half an hour to an hour of covering them every single week. So if you're looking for some sort of outlet or some way to be aware of that, come check that out. Carly's great, Steph's great, Ember's great, and any support that you can bring over is appreciated, because the algorithm really does not like us over there. Other than that, I am a trans woman. I'm wearing my trans dinosaur shirt.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's great.
And yeah, I'm also pansexual. So I'm part of this community on several levels.
I'm wearing my gay
Dinosaurs!
Dinosaurs.
Hello. Great shirt.
Thank you.
I love it. That's great. I got a new shirt today. I'm a polymer.
Polymer. Oh, and it's got
I love
I love it. I got it today. I was so happy.
It's nice because that's kind of coded a little bit too. So like you can wear it in a lot of situations.
Right, and you have to know. And
Right,
like
and if
the
you
thing
do
about
know,
being
that's
a
a great way to know.
polysexual, it's like it's not as well known as some of the other sexual identities. So I'm kind of like, hey, if you know, you know, you're deep in. So
That's great.
yeah,
Well,
I saw it and I was like, oh my god, it's science related. I'm buying it.
Is being poly really part of the LGBTQ?
But being polysexual is. So
Okay.
Polyamorous
so
and
if you're
polysexual
not
are
familiar with
different.
polysexual, is that we're attracted to most genders, but not all genders. So like where pansexual will be attracted to someone regardless of gender. We're a little bit more picky. We're very selective, and it kind of ties into my demisexuality. So like I have merged the two. So yeah. Also, and I don't like the pan flag, so I like the polysexual flag better. So that's
Pick your flag. Pick your flag.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I like this flag better. This one's more pretty. Like I got my xenomorph in
Oh, yeah.
the
Okay, I just
polysexual
Googled it.
flag colors. So
That's nice.
Okay.
I just Googled it. That is a very, very pretty flag. Colors are great.
yeah, it's much prettier. So
So I'm getting the impression that you just don't like yellow, because that's the only color difference.
Yeah.
yes, I'm a yellowist. I don't like yellow.
Anti-yellowist.
I feel the same way about yellow that I do about lemons. Like,
You know, like goldenrod is one of my favorite colors, though. I love goldenrod.
Yeah, and
No, I
lemons
do.
are like
I do own a
wonderful
couple of
food.
yellow pieces of clothing. So apparently I wear those when I hate myself. So like,
I was gonna say the Haribo bear here is taking
Yeah.
great offense.
So cute.
yeah.
Cover his ears so he cannot hear all this yellowist rhetoric.
Yeah, you're a yellowist.
Anti-yellow
Listen,
propaganda.
that's the only acceptable-ist you can be. It's the only acceptable one.
The only
So-
is? What about atheist? I'm just kidding.
I have a question for Dr. Ben. You described yourself earlier on as, you said, biromantic ace. Was that right?
Yeah.
So what is the first? I know what ace means. What does the
Yeah.
first part mean, though? I'm not
So
familiar
I'm
with that, so-
romantically attracted to multiple genders. But I am like I consider myself more like gray ace, where it's like I'm not completely averse to sexual activity, and like I don't mind like partner sexual interaction, but it's like it's not necessary for me, and it's only appealing with very specific people. So it's like
Okay.
so I can
That
be
makes
romantically
sense.
turned on a lot easier than sexually, and like I'm all for like cuddles and like romance and that kind of stuff, but like the bedroom does not play a huge part in that.
Okay. That feels very familiar to me. I've never
Yeah.
thought about that, but it feels like, yeah, okay, got it. Cause I'm not like a super sexual person. Like like I would much rather have like a interaction with somebody, like conversation, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if I were in a relationship, I'd like my ideal relationship would be someone similar where it's like an occasional thing, but it's not a high priority for either of us. Like, and don't get me wrong, like I love the feeling of an orgasm, but like I'm best at doing that. I'm best at doing it myself. Like I give myself the best orgasms, and like other people are okay, but it's not the same. So
fair enough. Very fair enough. Thank you for explaining that. I learned something,
no
and yeah, cool.
Yeah, me too.
Well, like my kid who is trans and bisexual, like was the one that was like, hey, there's a lot more terms, mom. And then because of my child being more educated on a lot of this stuff, I became more educated on it. And I'm sure there's more shit for me to learn because it's which is great. I think like more, more things that help people identify exactly what they are is a really great thing, but it's a lot to keep up with. So, which is I like, which I again think it's great. It's just that I'm old and I'm lazy. I'm like, just give me like a PowerPoint and explain, and I'm good.
Hi, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
Shout out to Kyle, Cosmic Kyle. Excuse me, full name.
We love
and
Kyle.
PC.
I got several
we
pieces
love
of
Kyle.
Kyle's. I got several pieces of Kyle's shit that I need to put up on my wall. I've been very, very lazy. Okay, to be fair, I need to like decorate my bedroom, but I also have to paint it, and I have a lot of furniture in here, so I would have to move the furniture out, and it's like very heavy. But we're getting a new snake cage, and we have to paint before we get the snake cage. So that will have to happen. So eventually. So, but I do have Kyle's artwork to put up on my wall when that happens. Because I'm doing a space theme in my bedroom. So,
well, that's perfect. Yeah, I was gonna say I need to order something off of Kyle's store at some point. Now that my husband and I are settled, we just moved to New York about 11 days ago, something like that, and into the house that I grew up in. And so the only art here is the art that was here when I lived here as a 10-year-old. So I need some updating. We've taken down more art than we've put up. I'll put it that way.
So you're not going to put up your Pokemon stuff?
We're going to put up anything and everything. It's just we have, I've never lived in a house before. I've always had either a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom apartment. So that's it. And even the 1-bedroom, the walls were sparse. So like now that we have 4 bedrooms, I'm like, what do we do?
I need to get some Kyle art too.
Off,
But Kyle also showed me a cool picture of it was like a smoke cloud, but it was like it's super cool. I don't remember.
Nebula or like smoke.
Yeah, like smoking smoke.
Oh, okay, got it.
Smoke cloud,
like smoky smoke.
Not space.
Not space. No, just like smoking
smoke.
But it was on like
I thought it was gonna be like
background
a nebula with gas.
And it was just and it was just like that over a black background, and it was kind of cool. It was like our like stoner friends might appreciate something like that.
Hey, I'm in a state where it's recreationally legal, so I can safely say yes.
Thank you, PC, for doing the link thing. I really appreciate that. I love PC. Like they are like a really wonderful human being that is everywhere online doing the chatty stuff and the promo stuff. So I really appreciate that. So thank you. Yeah. So yeah, this is one of Kyle's that I have blown up and put on canvas.
Wait, can you put yourself like up full screen, like ditch us for a second?
Oh, yeah. Yep, I can.
That'd be great. Oh, there you go. Even better.
That's so pretty.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, I love it. It makes me so happy.
The color.
And then you had the strawberry moon, and I was like, should I get the strawberry moon too? So it's gonna.
That's awesome.
You want all these fucking moons.
We will legit. Okay, so this is an off-topic thing, but it's on topic for the current topic, but off-topic for like the queer stream.
We're talking about space.
Well, no, just talking about like creator merch and stuff. Like I feel like there should be a place like a website or something where all of the like artists and stuff in our community can have their links like to their stuff.
Like a hub.
Yeah,
I have
like and
something
not
like
just for not necessarily for people's like channel merch and stuff, but more so like Kyle stuff, like people who make
creators,
stuff, like actual
right?
Like
yeah, like
like
actual
Linda,
like
like
artists and
Yeah.
and hobbyists and people who make art or make products as like handmade shit.
I was gonna say,
or
can I
whatever.
plug something on that topic real quick? I
Yeah.
gotta find the exact name. I'm not affiliated with it at all, or with them, I should say. It's a very small kind of startup group. I think it's called A Big Gay Market. I gotta double check their Instagram. But anyway, it's in Western upstate New York, like Albany area. Yeah, A Big Gay Market, and that's their handle on Instagram, and they're just an assembly basically of all of the local gay creators, queer I should say, in the area, and they're given a space, reasonable fees, and all that for setting up. Actually, I don't even know what they charge, but anyway, it just looks really cool. It's about 3 hours away from us, so we haven't gone to it yet. But like I said, I just want to plug it real quick. I messaged the organizer, and they seem really chill. So.
Yeah, like if we set up a website called like Humanist Marketplace or something, and then it's just
Yeah.
people
I think that'd be really great.
putting their work out there. We can talk offline and set
There we
something
go.
up,
Yeah.
but that might be cool.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it to SR last time that you and I talked about it on your show, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, let's like talk more about it," because we have the basic website set up already for
Yeah.
secularizing U.S. social media. It's not the same as they currently have. It's a separate website, but it could tie up really well on that
Yeah,
format.
no,
of
that'd
the
be cool.
website. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll chat.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that later.
Yes.
Anyway, back to the
Yeah,
back to the
fun
actual
topic.
topic of the conversation.
Back to talking about queer shit. So,
Take it away, Helen.
like I said, like I wasn't. I really had no plan. I just figured it was Pride Month, and I know a bunch of queer people, and I was like, I just want to have hang out with my friends for a little bit on a Sunday night. Well, and also I think like we know how important like visibility is in this community, even though there's a lot of us like we are kind of on the lucky end that we feel somewhat safe being out, and I think for a lot of people they don't have that safety, and they're looking for people that resemble them online. So I'm very glad that a lot of you provide spaces for that, because I know it can be hard, especially because we live in Gilead, and so it's one of those things that I'm very grateful as a queer, because like when I was growing up, like in the 90s, because I'm old, there queer visibility was slowly becoming a thing, mostly with gay men, and then it evolved into lesbians, and then like there's a little bit of a time where like bi people, like I've had people say to me like, you weren't able to make up your mind, and it's like, no bitch, I like both. So and then it kind of expanded as people's identity with like gender expanded. So I'm curious. I'm going to start with AJ. What was kind of your experience growing up? Because you're from Argentina, so I'm very curious what your experience was like growing up as not not growing up as a Westerner.
It was really weird, I would say, in Argentina, because that wasn't something that I was exposed to. Like, I knew I was attracted to girls and boys, but I never told anybody growing up. I just kept it to myself because I didn't see anybody else say it out loud, or even, I don't think we even have much TV. Right? It was like a rural area, country. So moving to the States was a culture shock in that sense. I didn't have exposure to religion or anything like that growing up. So when I came here, it was like diving headfirst into all of that queerness and but also religion, and that's where I went most straight up to becoming religious. Sadly, so I would say when I moved here, I did see a lot more people in my high school, for example, who were queer. So, but I felt that it wasn't safe for me to say it. I love my mom. Okay, she's great and she's come a long way. But at that time, when I was a teenager, she was not open to anything that was gay or bisexual or anything like that. I heard her opinions on my sisters who were openly bisexual, and I was kind of jealous of them, like having that courage to tell her mom that. I was too scared to do it. And to be honest, I've never have actually told her. Like, it's out there, I'm sure she knows, but like we never straight up, talk about it to our faces, to each other's face. So yeah, that was a complex thing, and I think the beauty culture is what affected me the most. Once I started becoming more and more religious, I felt like I could not be open about who I was, like either my sexuality or my attraction to the same gender, and especially to like say something like, oh yeah, like I would date a trans person. That felt like, whoa, like there's no way you could say that out loud, right? Because it just felt like against everything that the people around me believed in. So it feels really freeing and amazing to be around people that openly support that, and that you can feel safe saying that. I'm married to a straight guy, okay? Like a lot of people are like, well, then you're not bisexual or anything. And I'm like, no, I still have the ability to be attracted to people, right? Like romantically or sexually or whatever it is. Like, yeah. So yeah. So I would say opening myself up to that has been great. It's been great. Yeah. Love it. And I love value people that have helped me do that. Feel safe doing that,
Right. Well, like my mother has no idea, and that's fine. Like, I'm pretty sure my family does this because my family follows me on all those socials, and they know that I am very vocal about being queer and being an atheist and being an activist and a feminist and basically a pain in the ass, and being into kink, and it's a whole thing. And I've hit the point in my life where I don't care. Like, if you love me for who I am, great. If you don't, then fuck off. Because I think I spent growing up Catholic and then having so much of my life saying, like, you have to fit into this box. Like you were talking about purity culture. I know for myself that once I was like, this is just a bunch of bullshit and I'm done. And once I felt that I was in a safe enough place to come out, that gave me the freedom to, even though and like I don't face it as much as, like, because I'm cis presenting, so I don't unless, and plus I'm married to a man. Like, I don't face it as some as like other people do, because I can be kind of selective. And on online spaces, like, I hang out with a bunch of queer people anyway, and atheist skeptics, so they're all like, as long as you're nice, it's fine. Like, nobody cares. So that's been nice. So like, Bo, like, what's been your experience, especially since, like, you do like adult content and things like that? Like, what has been like your experience as a trans man and going through this wonderful thing as a queer person?
I'm still in the really early stages, like figuring out how to dismantle the character that I was playing as a woman before and stepping into like the new man that I am. I don't present. Hi, Cara. I don't. Bye, Cara. Hi, Cara again.
I accidentally hit it twice, and I kicked them out.
Oh, hang on, I don't have audio.
No, you do. You're fine.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Stand by.
Oh, they can hear us. Check one,
All right,
two.
keep going, Bo. Why Car figures out what they're doing?
I don't present as a man with my online work, like in my OnlyFans or like with my companion stuff. There are a few people who know, but it's just where I am, like coming out. It's just I don't feel safe enough yet to like just be out there about it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's still really early, so I don't have much. Dismantling it was
it's
kind of fun, but you know.
no, it's totally understandable. Like if you don't have much going on and you're at the beginning station, like I was just curious,
Mhm.
because I don't know like where you are in your journey. So I was just like, I'm just probing.
Yeah,
Probing. So
we're in the baby stage.
Ben, talk about your shit. So,
Which part of my shit? I already
Um,
went into kind of the detail on some of that nuance, but what part do you want to know?
like
She was also grown up is growing up and being like in
a
a
pastor
queer
kid,
person.
and then
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you find out that you're trans, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience because all of my no, well, not all of, but most of my deconstructing happened at the same time, and it was my queer deconstructing that led to like me becoming an atheist. And
Mhm.
it kind of happened at a similar time though, to where I knew I wasn't straight. And that was the first thing. I was like, whatever society is doing with their expectations of me, like, because evangelical Christianity expects you to be either a stay-at-home mom or at least have a job where you can prioritize your family and serve your husband and all that garbage. I ended up dating somebody who was not Christian and who would have been the perfect man for me, like if I was, going to be a straight cis woman. And
Mhm.
like he had either was working on, or I think he had just gotten his master's degree in history and was working with as a writer for this tech company that was contracted by the military and all this stuff. So super successful guy, super stereotypically attractive, blonde hair, blue eyed, tall guy, super charismatic dude, and super great to talk to. We had a great time, as friends and stuff, and even some of the romantic stuff was okay, but beyond that, I was just I couldn't feel physically sexually attracted to this person, and I'm like, I don't understand this, because I thought being raised Christian, I thought I was you knew when the person was right, and your body would do the thing it's supposed to, and no, I just wasn't physically attracted. And so growing up, I never understood why other people had those crushes that they did. Turns out back in my youth, in middle school, high school, I did have those crushes, but they were for women. And looking back, it was oh, my desire to be this person's one best friend and their only best friend is kind of the same feeling that people would describe for their crushes. And I didn't have the connection in my brain, because I didn't think you could be that. It was taught that you being gay is not a thing. It's just sinful. And so I didn't make the connection that, oh, these are the same feelings, just directed differently. And so once I unpacked that, it was incredibly traumatic in a way of I cannot be this good Christian that I was supposed to be unless I let go of everything that makes me who I am. And I was like, that's where I allowed myself to explore more, because along that time, I was getting my biology degree, and part of that was starting to unravel as far as the deconstructing creationism and all that. And so I'd arrived at a place where I was a evolutionary theist, I guess. I was in that weird intermediate space. And it was the queer issue of, even if I wanted to believe this stuff, I can never be on the good side. Like I am not one of those that would be accepted in this system. So why should I even try to stay in? And so I came out to my family kind of at the same time as gay and as atheist. So yeah, it was like a big long story, but it was a lot of a lot of deconstructing there. And then my journey to finding out I was trans is a whole separate thing that you could find elsewhere too. But it's a similar deconstruction, I guess, with the trans identity stuff.
I'm sure. Because like I know for myself, like gender's only a performance of some certain parts of your identity. You know, it's psychological and social. Because like I'm like, gender's not a thing. You know, like me having long hair, wearing makeup, it's just a signifier. But even if I didn't do those things, I would still identify myself as like, you know, a female. You know, so there's that. So
Yeah.
but like that aside, it is really it's funny because when I was growing up, you know, trans and non-binary people were just not a part of my identity. Like it was still like a tomboy, or you know, or like, you know, this man is more sensitive or whatever it was. You know, it wasn't actually a part of like somebody's identity to be trans or non-binary. That only became in part of my lexicon until I started taking you know, psychology of sexuality and gender and women's studies in college. And then I was like, oh, I learned something new. So
and with regard to the whole like men being sensitive thing, and
yeah,
like of course there's a lot of merit to like hormone influence on emotion, but like the ability to feel that deeply is something that testosterone did rob from me. Like there is that hormone component, and it's something that like a lot of cis men who have a high level of testosterone that has like emotional suppression, like they're missing out on a lot of shit. Like it's not a positive necessarily. Like it's just a variation in different people, but men should not see having more emotion and more depth of emotion. They should not see that as a bad thing. Like I would see
no, it was just I was just more referring to the messaging. I was
told. That's what I'm commenting on. Like that
Yeah.
messaging is so backwards.
Yeah. So and then as I've gotten older, like I realized how like kind of fucked up this is. Todd brought me wine. I love Todd. Good husband. Anyway.
Hey, wine fairy.
He's my wine fairy. He's best wine fairy. And I don't think there's enough talk about that in because we talk about like queer issues and toxic masculinity, and there is some overlap into the cis male community, but I wish there was a little bit more, you know, because we kind of like, it's because we're all a bunch of gender deconstructionists and queer people. We're just like, you know, everything we're taught is a lot of bullshit. You can do better. Car, since you're late, I'm going to scold you. Shame. But also as well.
Sorry.
Shame. Tell the people who you are.
Thanks for having me.
Because I love you. So tell everybody, you're one of my besties.
Thank
Tell
you.
everybody
Love you.
who you are and how you're part of the queer community and what you do in atheist and secular spaces. So give a bio.
Thanks. Yeah, I would love to. Hi, I'm Kara. I'm Helen's friend. She invites me to things and I show up. And that's generally how it works.
That's what I do.
Am non-binary also. That's yes. Helen is an ex-fallen color. Yes, so I'm here because I'm a one gender queer, and I love it for that. And in the secular space, I hope Arts, which is the Monday night podcast for Recovering from Religion, where we help who are dealing with issues of and non-belief. And you can come join us every Monday night.
Is Cara
Car, you're roboting, honey.
Roboting.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. you know,
Yes, that is my operandi. That I will invite for. That's what I do.
Scott.
That's what I do. Hi, Scott. So while we're waiting for Kara, beat Bree, go. Talk about your experience while we wait for Kara. Why they get their shit straightened out.
You're muted.
You're muted, honey.
I grew up in like a pre-Matthew Shepard U.S. As a queer kid, so I learned how to mask who I was and what I should let people see about who I truly was, and spent most of my life hiding that until just a few years ago, really. So I spent a good deal of time in the closet just because of the culture that I was raised in. I mean, just being queer, well, they would have just called me a F slur back then. I guess I shouldn't say that on your stream, but that, they used queer as a slur for me a lot. And it made, I was still in the closet about it, and they just made it very clear that I should stay in there if I knew what was good for me. So I spent most of my youth trying to pretend to be a cis het boy, which was really hard for a little girl to do. And I feel like sometimes I feel like I never developed my own identity because of that, never developed my own, or never got a chance to. That's why I'm kind of all over the place now. I'm just trying to find myself after all that time. But no, the society and the culture that I grew up in was not, you were not allowed to be gay. You were not, being trans wasn't even a thing. I didn't even know what trans was until I was an adult, right? I just
Me neither, to be honest.
That there was something depraved inside my brain that I had to keep hidden about myself, and that's what I was a girl, and I like, I would worry that people would find out things about me and things and stuff like that, and but I didn't know trans was a thing. I knew that I guess I knew that transvestites were a thing, and drag queens and stuff like that, but from Hollywood and from like movies and things like that, which do not paint a positive, or did not, at least at that time in the 90s, again, pre-1998, so pre-Matthew Shepard, did not paint a very positive picture of the queer community in general and the trans people specifically. There's very, very rarely a positive portrayal. Like, the only positive portrayal I can think of was that Tu Wong Fu movie, which is still made a bit of a spectacle and a joke, and didn't clarify the difference between a trans person and a drag queen and things like that. But the positive spin on it was there. But for the most part, you see it being the butt of jokes, like Ace Ventura, for instance, comes to mind, with the trans character in that. And there was no part of the world that I grew up in had a positive representation of queer people, especially, again, specifically not trans people, but queer people in general. Gay people were just beginning to be tolerated. I grew up in a small town with like 3,000 people, so very very rural, and it was there were maybe 2 or 3 kids that were openly and out gay when I was in high school, and they were very viciously bullied. So yeah, I didn't have the integrity to do that. I didn't have the integrity to come out at all about my sexuality until, again, like very late into adulthood, and then coming out about my gender and things like that. I was in my late 30s for all of that.
Yeah.
It was a slow burn process to be able to deconstruct. It actually took, what it took was me moving out of that small town into, I didn't move to a big city, but I moved to a city with like 60,000 people where there was a lot more diversity, and it was able to acclimate myself and start to immerse myself in something beyond what I grew up in. And all of a sudden I'm like, hey, I identify that. And this online community really helped with that too. I don't know if I would have ever come out with anything out at all if it hadn't been for, finding support for queer identities online and in this community.
Well, and I'm going to push back against you a little bit. I'm going to say that you didn't feel safe, because a big part of coming out is feeling safe. So,
Right.
because you saw what happened, to people that did come out. So, I don't think it's lack of integrity. I think that you didn't feel safe until you got to a point that it was, and you understood yourself better. So I'm going to push back a little bit against you not, because I think you have a lot of integrity, and I think at the time, I don't know you're in a world, but it just sounds like you didn't feel safe. So and that's a big thing about I feel very safe, being out, but I didn't feel safe until I moved out of New Hampshire and away from my family, and now I live in Florida. So there's that. Yeah. So I wouldn't.
Okay,
I wouldn't.
can I just say something quickly?
Yeah. No, you can't.
I refuse to believe that Bray is not in her 20s. Okay.
Yeah.
No, please.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Bray have had conversations about
seconded or third.
I think. Are we about the same age, aren't we, Helen?
I'm 48.
Okay, I'm 41.
Okay, so yeah,
we're about the same.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, but you remember
we're Zennials, millennial, in that space.
Do you remember Matthew Shepard being a big part of
Yes, I do. That was
in the late 90s.
Yes, I did. I remember
before that it was okay to call a queer person an F slur right to their face in front of your mom and everyone. And then it took somebody getting dragged to death behind a truck before.
What was really interesting because grew up in the Northeast is a little bit more liberal. Like there were assholes. Trust me, there was assholes, but it wasn't as blatantly obvious as it was if you were living in East Bumfuck, Alabama. So it was definitely a different vibe. It was more we're bigots, but we're gonna keep it a little more subtle. But I definitely when Matthew Shepard was killed, that you could see the show, because I had 98. I was 21. And I had already been I had sex with a woman before I had sex with a man. That was my experience. And I saw actual sympathy from people at the time. And also too, by that point I was kind of already easing my way out of the church, but there was still there wasn't he deserved it or anything like that. It was more oh, that's disappointing. Oh, that's sad. He shouldn't have been killed. But there wasn't a relation to hate crime yet.
Right. Because it was basically a queer lynching. It just
it was. Yeah.
And it was in Montana or Colorado. I can't remember which. It was.
He attended the University of Wyoming. I was just looking it up briefly, but I'm not certain.
Okay.
He died at a hospital in Fort Collins, Colorado, but he was a student at the University of Wyoming.
That's north of Boulder.
Wyoming is where people will go from Fort Collins.
Near Laramie. Yeah, Laramie, Wyoming. Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's super, because Fort Collins is a lot more progressive, but most of the conservatives will end up going to Wyoming for school. So that's probably
Cheyenne's right there too, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if I can share my lack of experience with that. So I was 6. I vaguely remember seeing his face very early on in my life, because there's a huge, turn off my video. The huge, an ad campaign of anti-hate crime, hey, don't do this. But I remember hearing about like what actually happened to him around the time that I came out, and I was like, oh my god, that's fucking awful. Like, why are people this way? You know. But yeah, no, it really wasn't that formative. In fact, I didn't have any gay role models at all growing up. I had a couple lesbian teachers who were lesbians, I should say. And that's about it. So until I went off to college. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents.
So now that you're here, now that you talked, you can talk about your experience.
Okay, sorry, I don't mean to like take the microphone. I was just like,
no, I
was done.
okay, here, let me identify myself as the baby in the group. Well, no, actually, I think I'm guessing Bo's younger than me. AJ,
I'm 27.
Yeah, you're definitely younger than me. Other than that.
I'm the senior queer around here.
Yeah,
it's
there
fine.
Yeah. So I first came out when I was 20. I first came out to a couple like coworkers, like really close friends in Ithaca. That's where I grew up, close to where I am now. Say where I actually am, I guess. Oh, ow, Woodhouse, stop that. Sorry, cat's getting feisty. He's a good boy until he's not. But yeah, so I actually waited until I went off to college to actually like come out to my parents, not because I was worried about any backlash or negativity or anything, just because I wanted to kind of find my own identity outside of living at home and eating dinner every night at home, and you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. So I went out and I lived life for about a month, and I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I was like, okay, yeah, no, I'm definitely gay. Like, no questions. Why are men so pretty? But yeah, so I came out. Pretty much everybody else who I hadn't come out to already. So it's all of my high school, or friends since elementary school. Really, my parents, my extended family. It was on National Coming Out Day. Actually, I was like, can't think of a better day. Fuck it. Needed a reason, found one. But yeah, so after I came out, I mean, I have the privilege of, as you can see, appearing incredibly straight passing, almost arguably so, except for the fact that I am indeed married to a man. But
and he's adorable too, by the way. Your man's adorable. Just tell us.
Matthew is adorable. He's very cute.
I wish he was here right now. I mean, he's 15-20 minutes away doing laundry at my parents' place. But anyway,
all right. Well, you can send my love to him.
Okay. Well, he may be back by the time. Depends on how long we go for.
I don't know. It just turns when everybody decides to turn to a pumpkin.
There you go. Yeah. Anyway, I can talk about how cute Matthew is all day. But what was I saying?
Let's do the next stream about that.
Oh, you were.
And you bring pictures.
What's that?
So we'll do the next stream about how cute Matthew is, and you can bring pictures. Okay.
Sounds even better. I'll bring the man himself.
Yeah, he's very cute and a sweet potato. So
Yeah, no, he is. He's got a very cheeky grin too.
I'm so sorry.
Very cheeky grin. So I'm like, is that him? But no, it's the cat making noise because he's mad that I'm paying attention to y'all instead of him, and he's a conservative, so it's all or nothing. No, we always make the joke that Woodhouse is a grumpy old man, so he has to be a conservative. He's queer friendly though. He's queer friendly.
Boomer cat.
Yes.
Yeah, mine wants to know where are your pictures, man.
What's that? Oh, should I go get pictures right now?
You should go get pictures.
I didn't realize that was like a prompt to do that right now. Okay.
Always.
You don't have to do it right this second.
No, you're like prompted. Continue with your tale of your.
Yeah. Wait. I want to see.
This is probably the worst way to do this. I guess I could share my screen, but I don't have these photos on my computer. They're just on my phone. That's him and me unloading the moving truck like almost 2 weeks ago. It's a terrible picture. You asked for a cute picture, and I showed you like the worst one possible. I apologize. This is, let's see.
Oh, you're muted, Helen. We didn't hear what you said.
I was going to say I'll find a picture of them together. Okay, look. Okay, wait a second. Wait. Hold on.
Sorry. I'm going to say to Wilton Manors. Wait, let me get it to focus. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Aww.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, he made that little crop top all by himself. He was just, he was like,
look,
what should I
look,
wear?
look.
Oh, there you
There you
go.
go.
Thank you.
That's adorable.
Thank
He's
you,
so
Helen.
cute.
He is the
Mhm.
I like it.
You guys are super
He's so cute. I love him.
Now we're just on Facebook.
It's cute.
Well, yeah,
Yes, we are.
I'm showing
Well,
off
we're
pictures.
boomer
Like, this is the
millennials,
thing
remember?
Yeah.
You know what? You know what's even cuter is that we dated for 9 days before we eloped together. That was a little over a year and a half ago.
That is very queer coded of you.
Yes.
To be,
thank you.
like, I moved in
But
with
you
Todd
hauled
2
it.
weeks after. Like, I moved in with my husband 2 weeks after meeting him, and we
Yeah,
slept,
yeah,
and we
same
slept
thing,
together the
Matthew
first night we
moved in.
met. So
Oh.
there's that. So-
Yeah. No, he moved in right away. I mean, the plan was for him to move in within a couple of months, and then we had a situation with his bad roommate on his end, and so he kind of fled that whole situation. And I was like, well, just move in now. Like, you don't have to have your name on the lease to sleep here. So, and then we got a place together after that once my lease was over.
See, there, see,
Yep,
there you go.
thanks. Maya. Yep, you're speaking the truth.
Well, like I always tell people, like, I would not recommend what I did for
me neither.
most people, but it
Yeah.
just happened to work out that way.
He and I are the exact correct flavor of neurospicy for each other.
That's how me and my husband are.
And the correct flavor of gay, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Tops, bottoms, you know. I'll let you guess. Johnny,
I'm writing my
own.
own, honey. I'm writing my own fanfic about you and Matt. It's fine.
Anyway, but no, but yeah. So he's wonderful. What else was I saying?
I don't know. We got distracted.
I can just talk about him more. He wants to be a
Talk about-
rocket scientist. He wants to design rockets. He's most of the way through an aerospace engineering degree.
Oh, wow.
But he also is a
Wow.
major in philosophy because he wants to do it ethically. And I'm like, that's cool. You don't want your rockets to blow up, people in the Middle East? He's like, nope, not that kind of rocket.
That's a
Go
good
to the
thing.
moon rocket.
I
Let's go to
appreciate
Mars
that.
rocket.
Can you see my shirt? It
Oh,
says
yes. I'm so
equality.
sorry. I completely ignored what you were saying. Yes, that is fantastic.
It says it's not rocket science.
Oh, equality. Oh my gosh, I love it. Where did you get that? Drop a link in the chat if you can.
Amazon.
Oh, okay.
I got it for the protest last week.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I wore my college-educated evil feminist slut to the protest last week. So I'm like,
saw it.
Love
Yeah.
that for you.
and I had several old ladies tell me they loved my shirt. So
You
that
have the
was
same-
We met a really cool mom on our pride crawl.
Aw.
Yeah.
We did.
We
I was
got
gonna
a
say-
hug. It was great.
Ithaca is just like full of a very wide array of ages. And I was pleasantly surprised that my 68-year-old mother and her 80-year-old friend went out and protested. I was just like, fuck yeah. They're there, holding
Love it.
signs up like the rest of them, screaming, shouting. Yeah, I'm like, good for you. Because 10 years ago, they were asking me, why are you doing this? Why are you protesting? Because I was protesting the first time Trump won. Why are you going out in the street and causing trouble? And I'm like, we're not causing trouble because we want to. We're causing trouble because nothing else is working.
Right.
If the system doesn't work, we shut down the system. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, back in his first term, we had the Women's March, the March for Science. I actually organized the Houston March for Science. Very
Oh.
proud of that myself.
Beautiful.
Oh,
That's
hell
awesome.
yeah.
Loving it. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I mean, so I was excited to have another like really big protest. Not that I wanted it to happen, but it's like good to be in that space
If we
where
have to have one. then
everybody's
Yeah.
where
If we don't
everybody's like on
speak
the
now,
same
we
side.
literally can't again. Like this is not like each protest is do or die for every single individual. I always say, keep your mental health first and the health of your fellow queers second, very close second. But there have been times when I'm like, I can't go to a protest right now. I can't handle it. But thankfully
they've
now
been happening on the regular where I live, which has been really great. And also, like, I live in like an older community where most people are 55 plus, and there's been over like 2,000 to 3,000 people that keep showing up for these.
Oh,
so,
that's
and
awesome.
And like older queers are showing up. So I'm like, so it's been really, really like inspiring, especially because like I live in a very red county, and I was pleasantly surprised to see so many people out, and like only like a handful of Trump supporters. Like the first one we did the protest, like 10 of them showed up. Like this one, 2.
I didn't see any counter protesters at the Ithaca one. I did see a lot of people with American flags who were fully integrated into the crowd that are very, conservative coded, camo, all that, participating. You know what I mean? Like fully enthusiastically participating with the No Kings protest, not counter protesting. I'm like, hell yes, you are so fucking welcome here. You know what I mean? We'll talk about your beliefs later, but thanks for being here. But yeah, it's really,
my major thing right now is that like I don't really care if you're religious. What are your values? Because like I feel like hey, you can believe in God. I don't really give a crap about that. I'm more concerned like, do you think everybody should have equality and we should not live in a fascist state? I would like that more.
When you lock your doors, do you know that they'll stay shut and that masked men won't break them down? Yes or no? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's amazing that it took them to this point to come to for the ones that are coming to the table. But when I said beliefs, I guess I more meant like socioeconomic beliefs, less so religious. Yeah. But the religious do kind of support the rest of it. So it's like, which root do you want to address first?
Right. It's a complicated bag of different things that, we could philosophize on, but like living in, this current state, I'm definitely, because a lot of my friends are in like childbearing age, like my friends tend to be younger, or that, I feel like as someone that has procreated, I did my job. I continue the human race. Probably the curse is going to end with my children. But that being said, like the fact that the attack on abortion rights and the attack on queer rights, because having a queer child and being queer myself, and also having an atheist in the army that is also queer supporting because their mom and their sibling is it is, and they have and their girlfriend lives in Mexico. It's a whole thing, and it's one of those things as a parent that you're very, if you are a very big advocate and supporter for people to feel safe, it can be very worrying because like I'm comfortable and I have a little bit of privilege, though I can feel it being stripped away slowly. Like I'm more concerned about like younger people. That's where more of my concern is, rather than more than myself, because it's not great out there, guys. Somebody talk besides me.
Sorry. Find your local No Kings protest, please, and thank you. Now is the time. There is no later. I'm just gonna keep saying that. No, that's honestly the reason why I opened up my Instagram to the public is I'm like, I need an outlet. You know what I mean? Like, there's so fucking much going on right now.
Your Wi-Fi sucks, Cara. Hi, Cara. The Chaos Goblins did not like you tonight.
Yeah, right?
Bummer.
Big sad.
That sucks.
Yeah, I'm sorry, honey. It's because they're queer and they're in Alabama.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Homophobic Wi-Fi.
Like, no.
Yeah.
So,
Anti-gay ISPs.
So I don't want to talk about negative shit. So
Yes.
what are I know Bree does like the transpositions podcast and talks about like positive shit that's going on in the queer community, especially in the trans community. So I'm going to start with you, Bree, since I brought your name up. What are some positive things that you've seen lately, especially in the trans community?
Well, I mean, people have been making the claim that since the election that we lost the culture war or something. But if you look in spaces like entertainment spaces, like the music industry, the movie industry, anything like that, there's so much support for transgender people in general. And as a matter of fact, outside of internet spaces, right, the majority of people seem to be like either indifferent or supportive of trans people existing in society. It's this fringe that's super loud and pushing really hard to keep us in the forefront, to distract the rest of the world from all the other shit that's going on, like what we saw in Iran today. You know, they're going to be pointing at gay people and trans people here to distract you from that in the next week. So keep your eye out for that. But the vocal support that you see from queer community, like for instance, one of the stories that we covered last week was Trump's appearance at the Kennedy Center, which is a famously LGBTQ friendly facility, getting horrendously booed. He banned drag queens from being able to perform there anymore. So some drag queens showed up in the audience to watch Les Miserables with him. And they got standing ovations when they walked in.
Drag was a thing back in biblical fucking times and in Roman times. So I don't know why they're so surprised.
Because women weren't allowed to act.
Like all of it. You know, for all of time. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Bree. I don't want to.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. Is you know, Shakespearean all the way back to prior to that, when women weren't allowed to have roles in the arts at all. The arts was a men's endeavor.
Yeah, it was a sexist thing, but it was.
That's why none of the Renaissance masters are women. That's why none of the great Michelangelo, Leonardo, they're all men. Because women couldn't make art back then. They weren't allowed to make art back then, which is the same for performing in plays, and that's where the origins of drag come from, is the innovation of ways to make someone with more masculine features have exaggerated feminine features, and to build on that, right? That was the whole concept of drag from the very beginning, was built around the idea of AFAB people not being allowed to perform in the arts. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna pass the baton now. I've talked enough.
So
we appreciate
everyone, go ahead, Bo. Go.
I was just saying we appreciate your spoons. We walked around for hours last night and I'm still kind of exhausted.
Yeah, that Pride pub crawl was chaos.
It was so fun though. We met a bunch of fun people. There was that cool mom, got to eat battered bacon.
Yeah.
We went to a lesbian bar called the Toolbox.
I danced on the stage.
Yeah.
She did. It was good. We just vibed with friends.
Yeah, there's this mom who, like, I was nearly in tears just because of like the wholesomeness of the whole situation. But like there's a mom who was out there at the Pride like pub crawl like with her daughter and like her daughter's friends, I think. And like the mom was just there supporting her daughter at like it was all of their first Pride event. And it was like, and I told the mom, I was like, never stop doing what you're doing. Like so many people, and I'm gonna cry now. Like, but so many people would have loved to have a mom like that mom. And like I told her, like, you are absolutely doing the right thing. And then like at the same table, like we all just kind of joined together at that place. We found this little it was this bar that kind of had a nice, fun little like sexy lounge vibe to it. And there's actually like a speakeasy in the basement. And that's where we met these people. And there was this other like gay couple there. It was their first Pride event ever. And so that was also super wholesome. Like, it was just amazing.
The
And they were
mom
all
was there with her daughter and her daughter's wife and her granddaughter. And they just got married like the week before. And it was also that one lady's birthday, like the lesbian lady. It was great. And they were just there partying with their mom. And I'm like, I love you, lady.
Yeah, and then this, and then this
really
gay couple,
strong hug.
Yeah, and then this gay couple who was their first Pride, like they ended up like joining seats at the same table as this family and stuff, and we were just there along for the ride. But like
that one guy tried to give me his baseball shirt, and I was like, no, please keep your shirt on.
But this is why Pride is so important. Like people don't understand the positivity that comes from this, and like just being yourself in a space that's safe. And like, I'm gonna go out tonight and I'm gonna have a good time and not worry about if the people at the bar are gonna judge me. I'm not gonna worry about getting assaulted at this bar. Like I can express my sexuality and it be celebrated. And like there's so much depth of emotion that comes from this stuff, but like this, like Pride matters. These positive events matter. Like just what Bree is saying and what Helen is saying, like we need these, like save these positive spaces. They are sacred. Do not let go of that.
Yeah, honestly, that's a great way to put it, Ben. Sacred, absolutely.
Yeah. So Kara made a comment in the chat saying that people who pretend is somehow vulgar or dangerous to kids to go to Pride and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they're way off the mark. I completely agree. Like my kid, when they were 8, came out to me as when they were assigned male of birth, and they told me that they were a girl, and that was like my very first time like being around somebody that was like telling me that they were trans. Like I had no exposure to trans people before that. And so I had 2 choices. I could be like, no, you're a boy. Or I could be like, all right, you know what? Let's talk about it. And that's what I did. I was like, let's learn together about it, because I was completely uneducated on that. So we watched videos, we read books, we had conversations. Eventually they like a few years later, they were like, you know what? I'm not I don't feel like I'm a girl. I am non-binary. I was like, awesome, even better. Like, let's continue learning this, because we can, both of us can grow from this, right? Like, help this person who is learning about who they are and support them in that process of learning who they are, instead of telling them who they have to be, right? And so I don't understand people saying that we are like indoctrinating kids. You're just helping your kid be their authentic self, like who they want to be and who they feel most comfortable being, right? So I don't know. I don't get how that's a terrible, horrible thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I was gonna say I don't know. Helen, you said you want to keep it positive.
No, it's fine. Like wherever the conversation goes, like, you know, like whatever, like I think it's important, like, because I'm also a queer parent, and it's rough. It's rough right now. Like, because you're constantly thinking about, like, you know, is my kid going to be safe? And that, like, because I have some privilege. My kid, like, they present queer, and I'm glad, like, right now everything's okay. They have safe people, and they know how to navigate spaces and things like that. But also at the same time, like, they've had people kind of treat them like crap, you know, just for the way they present, because they don't identify as female, and people aren't the best. So it's like, and just like those small little things of people just not like, it doesn't have to be violent, it doesn't have to be like, you know, outward bigotry, but just little slights, you know, the way that you're looked at, the way that you're spoken to is still degrading. So
just the simple act of like calling, like, oh, did you hear about the new iPhone? It's so gay. You know what I mean? Like that, just letting that slide. If you're the one queer person in a group of like 10 straight people, or well, straight men usually talk that way. I mean, I'm not saying, straight women don't, but more often than not, I hear it from men. Just, again, somebody who's pretty straight presenting, I always call them out because it's so shocking sometimes if they don't know that I'm gay, like if they're a friend of a friend or like a coworker who doesn't know me that well yet. They're always like, oh, well, and then they just trip over their words until they're almost doing a cartwheel. It's so funny. I'm just like, yeah, find a different word. Thank you. Like, it's very easy.
Like, unless you're giving a compliment.
Yeah, no, that's different. And I mean, everybody on the rainbow has a gay pass, like, no, I did want to add something though on the subject. This just made me think of it. I lost a friend recently, and when I say lost, I do not mean that they passed away. Unfortunately. So when I lived in Florida, I don't want to give away too much personal information, but basically I had a family that I was very close to, and when Matthew came into my life, we both became very close to them. We would cook meals together. Anyway, after we left, about a week later, the wife started evangelizing me hard, like hardcore, like nonstop in my DMs on 3 different media platforms. And she had never done this before, ever. We had very brief civil conversations about it. Anyway, regardless of what's going on with her, because I don't want to, like I said, give away too much personal information there, but she's going through something. But it culminated with Father's Day at about, it was 10 or 11 p.m. I was at a drag show with Matthew, and I get a series of DMs from her, and it's all of these videos that are just like they saying the worst things possible, basically, about what they want to do to either trans people or parents who bring their kids to drag. And it's coded in a way that Facebook moderators won't pick it up. And anyway, it was fucking sick. I blocked her on every single platform. I texted her husband, and I was just like, hey, if you ever speak to me that way, you can fuck off too. Ask her to show you the messages. Right. And he's like, I apologize, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. You don't apologize for her. She can apologize. She has my email, and that's the only way I ever want to hear from her again until she apologizes, because that's absurd. But anyway, needed to get that off my chest because people be throwing up some bullshit this Pride.
Well, like, it was funny because when my kids were small, like, I took them to a gay wedding. I think Andrew was 5 and Kai was like 7 or 8 years old, and I brought them to Pride after the Orlando shooting, and because and I can tell you it was fine. like and that's the whole thing. I'm like there's plenty of kids at Pride. Like, it's not like, it's just a public event. It's not like, this is porn.
Right.
Like,
and
we are adults. We know how to behave in public.
Yeah. Right. And from what I've seen so far, I mean, queens and kings are usually pretty good about, like, when you're at a bar, you can go all out. If you're at a public park, there's a line. You know what I mean? Like,
because
you can clear the line, but there's a line somewhere.
Usually Pride is family friendly.
Right, exactly. And I've seen that observed every single time. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? I'm like, if they're wearing the same amount of clothing as Miley Cyrus, it's okay.
It's after the parade at nighttime when all the adults are out drinking and at king clubs and all that shit. It's like after dark because it's nighttime and we're adults.
Right? Like, your kids shouldn't be out. If your kids are out, that's your problem.
That's right. It's like, you do not. You are not a good parent.
Oh, whose kids are they? Oh, they're your kids? Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, that's my thing about the whole anti-kink at Pride situation altogether. It's like usually during the day people have more family-friendly activities, and then the adult stuff's later at night. But they just want to ignore that to make basically a straw man out of the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, also, I didn't want to interject earlier, but Ben, something that you said just really resonated with me about just a space where you can just be yourself and completely accepted. I felt that truly for the first time at a club in Wilton Manors back in almost 2 years ago now, back in 2023. I'd never been in like an exclusively gay space before. I'd actually never been to a Pride event before. And this wasn't even during Pride. This is just a night I was going out with some gaming friends, and I was just like, I looked around and like half the guys had their shirts off, and I was like, I don't like taking my shirt off around too many people. I don't know, just self-conscious like that. I was like, fuck it. You know what I mean? It was very liberating, acceptance.
Martin, I see you, and I don't like taking off my shirt in front of so many people either. So yeah,
What's
it's
that?
selective.
Wait, what did you
costs
say?
extra. That costs extra for Helen to take the shirt off.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Like, don't do that for free.
The money.
You've at least brought
Especially
me
if
a
you
meal.
titties, you don't do that for free.
Listen. You bought me a meal, probably a couple of drinks. Like,
It's gotta
Yeah.
be a damn good meal. These are some premium tits.
I know.
I was gonna say the only belly that will be shown off on this broadcast is this big fat belly right here.
Yeah. Oh, it's a belly.
Perfect.
Oh, calm
my
down,
God.
Woodhouse. You're fine.
Listen, I if these are some grade A natural grown titties. So, like, I'm very proud of them.
Gandalf Big Natural.
I have none, so I could take my shirt off and nobody will notice. I look like a 12-year-old boy, something.
I have
You're
something
beautiful.
resembling the start of tax.
Listen, I don't think anyone. I am not a tittyist. I like any titty. I'm pretty happy with. Like, so, like I'm all about the titties.
All
I'm like
titties
I'm
are
a
good
boob woman. Like,
Pro titties. This is a pro titty
titties.
stream.
I'm pro titties.
Pro titty committee.
The French Titty Committee?
Like, even all the gay men I know are like I like some titties. like
Boobs are great.
they're squishy and soft. Like you get get a squeeze of titty. You know, it's all good.
And obviously with consent, we get a pass.
I had a
but-
trans
Exactly.
man
Like
like
my gay
One.
husband has who's my best friend for almost 20 years, has touched my titties and on occasion. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you can squeeze my boob. It's fine. Like,
I had a trans man on FetLife the other day hit me up with this line. He was like, "Hey, I lost my titties. Can I play with yours?"
Well,
That's a
direct.
good pickup line.
Okay. I don't know if that's your cup of tea, but if it is, you know what you're getting.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's
At least
funny.
he asked first. That's
Yeah,
right.
100%, honestly, I on Grindr for me, but I never mind a 1 to 2 sentence direct communication. I mean, that's just I don't know. But I'm like, yeah, no, if it's not my cup of tea, I'll just tell you. That's fine. But don't beat around the bush.
Yeah, what are you here for? Don't waste my time. I got stuff to do.
Like, I'm like, you just have to ask, and then I'll tell you. I'll be like, nah, I'm not into that. Or I'll be like, I'll consider. Like, or if I'm into it, I'm like, yes. Are you pretty? Probably even better. Like, I don't have very high standards. like, did you shower today? Yeah, I'm good. Did your breath smell good? And okay.
When and I'm sure this happens on any platform, not just Grindr, but when somebody messages you and again and just demanding a reply, just send this. Oops.
I just blocked.
What am I looking at?
A loading bar.
Yeah.
Reply loading. They don't appreciate the humor. They aren't worth your time.
No, it's been a thing. Okay, since I started my channel, I'm just gonna do a sidebar. I've been getting random men, they'll drop into
Ew.
my DMs or on my BlueSky, and being like, "Hey, are you the one though?" They do hi there, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm ignoring you because why are you?" What? I'm like, we're not friends. Why are you DMing me? And then I made the mistake when I've been drunk to respond. And then they start asking me about am I single? And they'll find out I'm married, but they don't care. And I'm just like,
Oh, he doesn't have to know, bitch.
Let me start
I
by
don't
being
think a thought
inconsiderate
without
of
his
your needs.
permission. The fuck?
Well, like, I'm like, why are you DMing? But the thing is, though, like, I don't know what it is. And, like, I haven't gotten any dick pics, thank goodness, in a while. Because I used to be on FedLife and I got a lot of dick pics.
Ooh.
And, like, I had specific things in my profile. Like, this is what I'm looking for. Guys don't care.
Men
Do not
can't
care.
read.
No. And they would be sending me like pictures of their dicks, and I'd be like, listen, I'm like, I've seen a penis. Like, you send me a picture of a penis does absolutely nothing. And it's just like, that's a penis.
Right.
Thank you.
I'm like,
Nick
unless
don't
it
seem
does
to
a
understand
trick,
that.
like-
I live with someone that owns one.
right?
I'm
Unless
gonna
it does
tell
something
you
I
right
haven't
now.
seen before,
What?
or tells jokes.
I'm going to tell you, I never sent anybody a picture of my penis before I came out. There's never been a situation where that seemed like it was a good thing to do.
Like,
It's
It's
a
like,
bad
yeah, that's
idea.
totally
Only upon
appropriate. I
request.
should totally just.
like, unless like, you know, you're sexting and someone specifically asks
Yeah.
for it,
Yeah,
you
that's
should
the
not
only
be
time.
sending a
Only
picture
time
of
that's
your
okay.
penis to some random person. Like, I don't know.
Don't
like,
download
like when my
Grindr.
son was growing up, I actually told him, I was like, listen, I'm like, it's fine to flirt online. It's fine. But I go, unless someone specifically, and I said, don't do this till you're over 18 because child porn laws. But I said, unless unless someone specifically says, I would like a picture, you do not send it, because women don't like that at all.
I feel like it's what Dr. Ben was saying earlier about hormones differences between men and women, and I think men are a lot more visual and they like to see the woman parts, but women are not like that. We don't like.
Actually, that's not true. That's
I
You
like,
think so?
I like seeing stuff.
Okay.
I don't know.
like there are studies that women are attracted to visual stimulus, but because our culture is more male gaze, it is seen as that men are more visually stimulated by sexual imagery. Women are just as stimulated, but it's just the male gaze and patriarchy that they kind of gatekeep it. So
I
It's also
prefer to
just
see the
like-
whole
like, I'm
man.
not
so
talking
hard.
like, I'm not talking about like, you know,
Yeah.
like individuals. I'm just talking as a broader population. We are sexually stimulated as if that's your thing, just as much as men, but because of patriarchy and the male gaze, it is gatekept by men.
But like, I just don't get what's so hard about like waiting for consent. Like, even just ask the
Right.
question, hey, would you like to see a picture?
Well, like you
I-
wouldn't
my
do it in
penis.
person.
Like, just say it. Just say the question.
Like,
and
I
like,
don't
you
want
wouldn't-
people to know.
Exactly,
They want
AJ. If you
to
wouldn't
know.
walk up to a person in
Yeah.
public and say, "Hey, would you like to see my genitals?" Why the fuck do you think it's okay to do it online?
how about
Because they can't get
starting?
smacked
How about
in
starting
one.
with a picture of your face or something normal that like everyone's
That's
gonna
what
see.
I'm
Like,
saying.
here's a picture of my face. Like, am I cute? I don't know. Like, that's a
Let me
bit.
see the man behind the penis.
It's like that's a bit easier to take unsolicited, because if I was walking in public, I would just see your face
Yeah, that
anyway.
would-
Right.
Like, that's not
Exactly.
weird.
Yep. No, it literally, Ben. That's how I think about it too.
Oh, we lost
Too many
you.
people that
We
jump
lost
that
Martin.
fence very
Martin,
often.
Yeah, your sound went off.
Martin, you
for-
cut out. Start over. You cut
Oh.
out. Start over.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, start over. What
Okay.
were you gonna say?
Yeah, no, I was just saying that there's two categories. There's people who understand that and people who just do not and cannot for some reason. And it's, you know, kind of sad. I mean, really, it just comes back to consent. You know, it's
No, they
consent
haven't,
to
Cara.
and
They haven't
other
thought
than-
that out.
What's that?
I'm reacting to Cara. Like always, like they thought it through. Like,
Oh yeah, right. No, seriously though, I always say like I'd rather you tell me a dumb joke than send me a nude. You know, like I put
Like,
that in
if
the
you
back
send
of
me-
my
if
mind.
you
I will
tell me a dad
probably
joke.
respond more positively to the dumb joke than the random nude, because dumb
Even
jokes
better, like
kill.
you'll get my Snapchat or Instagram if you just send me a dumb joke first.
I will
like,
entertain you if
I'm
you're
easy,
stupid.
just not a like I don't. Well, for one, I'm a top. What am I going to do with that? But even if the guy sends me, you know, the other side, I'm just like, okay, great.
I like my kind of
The
thing is
million
that because
poll.
I'm because I'm demisexual, like I can find you like physically attractive. I'm like, oh, that's pretty.
Right.
But like I have talked to some very pretty people, and then they open their mouth, and I'm
Right.
like, oh no, honey, oh no, and then and then my vagina dries up. I'm like, no,
You talked yourself right out of that. Yep.
I'm like, oh no, you're a dum dum.
Yeah, like go back to not talking.
Yeah, go ahead and talk. I'm like, oh, you're just be pretty, because like
if someone's gonna risk a pregnancy, it might as well be like with somebody who would be okay to donate genetics to your children.
Say, here's the thing, right? If they don't have the charisma to just ask, they definitely don't have the perseverance to like, have a good time with me. I guess I'll put it that way, because I'm not here for 5 minutes. I can do that with the person that lives with me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you're here for 5 minutes, great. Find somebody else.
I think that's why I've reached a point in my like sexuality that I just want to have sex with my friends, because like I already know all my friends, and like we formed relationships, and I know all you motherfuckers. I don't want to like have to go out and like I'm old, I'm lazy. I've never dated. I have not dated since high school. I don't know what it's like to date, and like I just don't. I have no idea, because the last time I dated, I was 17. I am 48. It has been 31 years since I've been on a date. Like, I don't know what it's like.
It sucks.
Yeah, I don't want to. And because like dating to me is like the Amazon. It looks beautiful, but then there's like tigers and leopards and like and snakes and
the Amazon
and packaging facilities.
Yeah.
Did you just say that there's tigers in the Amazon?
Nobody's showering.
Oh, Bree's got something to say here. What's up, Bree?
Did you just say that there were tigers in the Amazon and leopards?
I
need a
wrong.
moment.
I was wrong, but it was okay. To be fair, I was very wrong about that. But
hey, in all fairness, that is better than the 45-minute conversation I had on Talk Heathen with the guy who agreed with the statement that penguins are mammals. So,
okay, well.
Bitch, a bird ain't a mammal.
Listen, Bree, like I'm a little wine drunk. Like my scientific accuracy is not at like even at 50% right now.
No, I'm just teasing you, sweetie. Yeah,
no, it's fine. Like no, but like it's one of those things that I know that there's like tropical things in the Amazon that will eat my face or will bite me and I'll die.
Jaguars. Jaguars are in the Amazon.
Jaguars.
A lion, tiger, whatever.
There's like also some kind
of there'll be a big cat that will want to eat my face. So I don't go in the Amazon. That's how I feel.
I bet they do.
Because I tried. Like we try like the full poly relationship thing, and I'm like, oh my god, you're too needy. I'm in a very settled relationship. New relationships, I'm like, oh, you want attention. Oh no. I can't do that. I can't give you attention. I can't reach your emotional needs. What are you doing? At least I've reached a point in my queer polysexual life that I know that I'm like, hey, are we friends? We can have sex, and then we can watch like a stupid movie together, and it'll be great. It'll be a good time. But me forming new relationships where I might have to sleep with you, and also you're gonna get emotionally attached, I don't want that. It's too much work. Like you got to know yourself. Thank you. So husband brought me snacks. So I don't know if other people experience this. Like who are my other poly friends? Like my poly friends. Like I don't know what your experience is like, but this is my experience as an old queer. Okay, go, Bree, go.
What am I supposed to do? Bo said here first. I'm passing the baton to Bo because he's
okay, whatever.
Well, I kind of like how Ben said earlier. He's biromantic. I am gray romantic. I don't experience romantic feelings very often. If I would describe platonic relationships as loyalty, I would describe romantic relationships as like devotion, if that makes sense. And it's a weird nebulous area because I don't fully understand the differences between types of relationships. I think that points to Demi, but like I'm down to fool around with absolutely anybody. Like I view sex as like going to an escape room, like a community bonding event. Like it doesn't have any sense of what's the word, like sanctity, or it's not sacred to me. It's just something. But like I feel like romantic relationships are more sacred to me than sex. So it just doesn't, the amount of, well, kind of like you said, the amount of emotional investment is not something that I can do at this point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that kind of leads to not fully being open to a romantic relationship. And I don't care what my partners do as long as they take care of themselves. Like, I don't care how many partners they have. I don't care what they go out and do. I don't even have to speak to them on a regular basis. I just need to know that they love me and I love them. And then, if that makes sense, like, so I have several sexual partners on like a poly basis, but no like romantic partners really, just because that's different. It's a different amount of spoons and I have none.
But you did hold hands with Jazz last night. Just so
I
you
did
know.
hold
That was
hands with
very
Jazz
romantic.
platonically. Yeah, it was pretty gay. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Did we lose Helen?
I think we did lose Helen.
The
Oh
host?
no, we did.
Bree, do
host
you remember
vanished.
kissing me last night?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Helen's back. Helen just had to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was a
I
platonic
gotta pee.
kiss, too. It wasn't a romantic kiss.
Yeah.
Listen, like Bo, I will hold hands with you.
Aw, we can hold hands.
My
I
one of
might
my
do.
favorite.
hold
I
hands.
might not. I might do non-sexual cuddling.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things, like, was at the excursion, like, platonically cuddling in the back seat of a van with Glenda. So, I mean,
Yeah, because
Like-
Glenda's the best. Like,
Yeah.
I miss her ass. But like that, like I think, that like I like if I ask you into my bed, like it is like sacred to me. Like I'm very particular. Like if I'm gonna sleep with you, it's because I'm very attracted to you and I want to have a good time, but I'm very selective. As much of a slut as I am, I'm a selective slut. And I think that like this idea, like, you know, because we're queer, like we're sexual extravaganza people. It's like, no, I'm so selective because again, I don't want you to like I have boundaries too. It's like I have to, like, if I'm inviting you into my bed and we're gonna have a good time, or include this, if we do any kink shit, that's even more.
Yeah.
Like, there's layers, so many layers.
I feel like I'm not super selective. You just have to not be an asshole and preferably be queer. Like, except for like kink stuff, I do want to have a relationship with people. If I have a kink relationship, I want it to be like an ongoing thing, a relationship. I know and I trust this person. But like if it's just sex, then whatever. Because again, it's like going to an escape room. It's like, whatever. Let's go bowling. Oh, let's go eat pussy. Like, it's the same thing to me.
See,
as long as you escape in the end.
As long as I escape in the end, yeah.
I think for like for myself, like I don't know if you guys have experience, like because I am going through I'm going through perimenopause right now. By the way, not the funnest time, but I'm going through like a second puberty, but it's in reverse. But I'm horny all the time. like I have I'm getting all these emotions I had when I was like, 14, 15 years old. It is a wild ride. And I'm just like, this is my new experience. But also at the same time, like the adult brain, the mature brain of like being very selective about like who I sleep with has also come into play. So it's been weird the past few months. It's been a very interesting experience as someone in her late 40s going through like this whole like reevaluation of their sexuality.
Mhm.
It's a thing. I don't know if it's like this for other women. But
That's good because you always hear like menopause like decreasing your sex drive.
Oh no, honey.
So good.
No. Oh no.
I'm going through a second puberty for completely different reasons, so I can relate.
Like, well, this is how I feel like, like I kind of get where trans people say when they start taking hormones, like they go through this other puberty. Like I'm just having it in reverse. Where like I'm not gonna be, I'm kind of, but the thing is though, because my hormones are all kind of fucking out of whack right now. And I have to like take hormones. I'm on progesterone and estrogen to like regulate my levels. And I have hot flashes all the time. Living in Florida, it's so much fun. Like I kind of relate to when they say like you're going through like a second puberty, because that's what it feels like. I'm like, but other than like changing my, my gender presentation, I am trying to affirm, like, I'm like, okay, I'm like, I want to be a sexually active, healthy female and just keep it going. That'd be great.
I would be happy to not have a period anymore.
I'm having
whenever
a
that
regular
happens
period now, so that's fun. Like I thought like I'm supposed to be ovulating right now and then I started another period yesterday and I was like, sure, why not?
No, R.I.P. Fucking rip. I'm in a weird boat where like I am like I'm a trans man, but I'm not on HRT or anything, but I'm like my libido is insatiable, right? Like, and I'm
slut.
I know, right?
That's why
I was talking to someone on Folks about getting on HRT, and they're like, honestly, with the complaints that you've had about wanting to turn your libido down and the medicines that you're on, I don't know if that's where we need to go at this time. In fact, let's put you on something to just like kill everything to see how you feel after that. And I'm like, oh yay, fucking thanks, bud. Great. So I'm gonna get a new medicine soon that's supposed to just like end the sluttiness. Don't know if it's gonna work.
Why?
It's a problem. It's honestly a problem. Like I have to masturbate multiple times a day in order to function. And it's like that's not where I want to be. I don't want it to be like an addiction, like
right,
where I can't commit to anything without being like, oh, I need to schedule time to go back to my room for alone time. Like with a career like I have, you think it would be like a lot of, like it would be good for me, but it's just I don't want to do porn for the rest of my life. I want to concentrate on speech language pathology and doing the stuff that I want to do. And it's just like I wouldn't be adverse to having like no libido at all, but like just anything less than what I have now.
You mean like just a normal libido?
Yeah, because it is a problem for me. Like again, I'm not on HRT or anything. Like I haven't done any like gender affirming care. I'm just existing as someone who needs to cool it the fuck down.
And testosterone enhances that like insanely.
Yeah, that's why they were like, maybe not currently, bud.
Testosterone puberty is a beast of its own.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just
I've never had to take
horny and
my
super
oldest
angry.
said it was a trip. Like when they were on T, it was a trip, and I'm like, I don't really need to know when it comes to my own child, but they were like, Mom, no, and I was like, it's fine.
And the fun part too of like you want of course the hair that you want is like the visible body hair and like the facial hair. But no, the first thing you get is ass hair and nose hair. That's what you get.
Oh.
The first
Those are
things
the
you get
two
are ass
worst.
hair and nose hair.
Those are
The
the
two
two
worst
worst
ones,
hairs.
See,
That
like,
and back
so-
hair. I know.
Like I don't know if AJ's experienced this, but like I get like random like chest hairs like around my nipples or like in the middle of my chest that disappear, and I'm
Yeah.
like a tweezer like pulling that shit out. And I'm like, that is not okay.
That's so wild. I make like absolutely no body hair. Like I can go months between shaves.
I want that.
What
I don't
is
He
want
that?
likes to
Like,
remind me of that a
listen,
couple times a week.
I
No,
want
I
that
don't.
too.
I'm perplexed.
Listen.
Like, why don't I make
I'm
hair?
Sicilian.
Listen, Gillette
happening?
has infiltrated my psyche of like
I gotta
women
pick
not
up my
having
food. I'll
body
be right
hair, and I'm sorry, what, honey? Oh yeah, Ben, go.
I gotta go pick up food. I'll be right back.
Okay,
Mhm.
so like I will say, like as someone that like one of my friends, she was able to afford like do laser hair removal, and I wanted it so bad because I'm like I want to be bare. I don't want any
I
hair.
hate hair.
I hate hair. Like my leg hair starts growing like a quarter, not even a quarter, a couple centimeters, and if I can feel it, I'm like, I am hairy scary. It has to go. I'm gross. Like I can't stand it, and I it's Gillette's fault. You know, back in the I think it was the 1920s, 1930s, they said like women need to start shaving because they weren't. Hi, Eddie. Hi, Matthew.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine. I'd rather say to Matthew than talk about body hair.
Yeah, bring the twink for the body hair conversation.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey,
Uh-huh.
Matt, do you have opinions on body hair?
I personally don't have much of it, so, but like I don't know. It's kind of funny because I always kind of thought of myself as someone who wasn't really that into body hair in my choice of partner, but that's not really the case with this one. He's quite, yeah, as you can see.
He's fluffy.
Yeah.
I have to trim my chest every 3 to 4 weeks.
Just some some mild low pile
That's
carpet.
just my
here,
chest.
you know.
Ridiculous. Thank you, Sicilian ancestry and Irish ancestry.
Oh,
I mean,
my Todd's very hairy, like on his chest, and I find it very attractive. But because like my ex-husband had very little body hair and he was kind of a butthead. For something like I am very attracted to body hair on men. I find that like I'm like, ooh, that's pretty. But like but it can't be like a sweater.
Oh, like the back hair. You know?
Back hair
Yeah, no,
going on, and I'm
I
like,
hate back hair. We get rid of that pretty regularly.
yeah, I'm like,
I don't think anybody likes back hair, and if they do, then
I
good for you,
I
live your
think even
kink.
if you have back hair, you don't want back hair. And like,
Correct.
as someone that used to work as an esthetician and had to wax like men and women, I've waxed testicles before. That was an interesting experience.
How does that?
How do you wax
That's
a testicle?
interesting.
How does one wax a nutsack? Wait a second.
You have to
Very
stretch
carefully.
the skin. So part of it, because some of them were the men that I waxed. Either they were sex performers or they were doing competitive like swimming. And for some
Okay, both
reason,
of
like
those
they're like, you have to wax all that.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you actually
yeah.
have to stretch the skin of the testicle and apply the wax and then rip it off.
That sounds horribly painful.
Yeah.
I like, this is why, like,
a bit.
you know how I was talking about like penis pics, like it does nothing like testicles. I'm like, listen, I'm like, do you know how many balls and dicks I've seen? Like, this is nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm sorry, but like female anatomy is a lot more attractive than male anatomy.
like
Yeah.
When you're looking at
I
it.
think the opposite.
I think, yeah. I
well,
think
like
the
that's
people-
because you're like to be fair, you're gay. Like,
That is true. That is the case. Yeah,
Like,
that's fair.
so,
That's a check.
listen, like like okay, to be fair, if there was no pleasure associated with like any genitals, you'd be like, what the fuck?
They're weird. They're just weird. They're all weird.
Genitals are weird.
That's fun.
They're all weird. I stand by it.
Hey.
No, Martin, we're not talking about their fun. This is if you removed all the pleasure associated with genitals.
Let me have an
at
ego,
them
okay?
and like an objective, because like if you look at them objectively, though I have a coloring book of like vaginas. It's just a vagina coloring book. I love it so
Phenomenal.
much. And it's all different vaginas. And every time I like sit down and I'm like coloring, like I'm like, you know, I own a vagina and I've had experience with many a vagina. I'm just like,
I like how you said many a vagina.
Many a vagina.
I've been having experiences with vagina since I was 15. So many a vagina in my life.
I guess like, you know,
I've had sex with more women than I've had sex with men. So
I was gonna say it's kind of like, I mean, the genitals are very much like function over form. You know what I mean? Like we do not have them for how pretty they look. We have them for like strictly function. You know what I mean? Like this might be a little bit too much for people, but if anybody's ever wondered why like the head, for example, is a little flared, it's to act like a plunger. It's to remove anything that might already be there. You know, that's as far as I'll go.
Well, we have a doctor here who can either validate or invalidate that.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Let's talk about genitals.
Ben's eating. Sorry, Ben.
We were talking about.
I'm here. I just brought my food back.
Functionality.
Okay. So, Matt, just say what you said. Say to Ben.
I don't want to say it again.
No, you have to. I said so. It's my pod. You have to say it.
All right, fine.
It's my show.
Oh, and he's leaving me. All right, great. That's great.
Here,
so
you can co-star with Snorlax.
Okay, perfect.
There you go.
I was gonna say, I said genitals are very much like function over form. So like the reason why the penis is a little bit of a bell shape on top is to act like a plunger, to like essentially take anything out that might be in there, and then so you can replace it with your own.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I can't verify that part. It's possible that is how it evolved.
I mean, I guess to really know for sure, like anything in evolution, you would have to ask like natural selection, which isn't a thing that you
we'd have to go back through the tree and then see where that feature evolved
there was
from.
This thing, like
what did
like
penises
before we
look
started like
before
pairing
that?
off, because like marriage and like pairing off with like your partner is a social construct. Like when like back when we were early humans, like you would just fuck, and then like it was kind of like because we lived in very much smaller tribes, like you know early humans, like everybody would just raise your child. Like it was kind of like apes, you know. Yeah. But then as we became more civilized, we started like pairing off in peer groups, because also too when we started again patriarchy, when men started inheriting property and they wanted to pass on that, they started like wanting to pair with females to give their ownership over to an heir. So that was a part of our evolutionary psychology. Now, granted, this is some old shit. I don't know if it's still true. I'm just spouting off some like stuff I used to know. I don't know if the things have changed. Please never anything I say, take it with a grain of salt. Do your own research, but actual real research, like because I might not be. But it kind of makes sense, like over time, like how we've used like monogamy and like cis heteronormative relationships as like a position of like inheriting property rather than like actual like sexual intimacy. So like I like again, oh, there's a presentation about this. I'm not surprised Dr. Ray has a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation about this. I'm not surprised at all. So, like, that's I'm not saying that is true. It's just a thought.
One really interesting thing sort of along those lines is like, so So our two closest ancestors. Here's another cat.
Yeah.
Bonobos.
I have a cat resting right next to me. Taking naps.
Bonobos and chimpanzees are kind of like polar opposites when you think of social structure. So bonobos, they're very much like you said, like everybody just has sex with everybody as like a social thing. It's not even like for procreation. It's literally social lubricant, if you'll pardon the turn of phrase.
Yeah, they actually use it to prevent like food fights. Like they have orgies before.
Yes.
When they find a food source. Yeah.
Yeah, and
bonobos are matriarchal, whereas chimpanzees are patriarchal too.
Yes. And chimpanzees are also like they also literally go to war with other tribes of chimpanzees. And it's strictly a numbers game. If they outnumber the other, like they'll patrol around, and if they outnumber the other like 3-1, it's game on. Otherwise, like they'll just like be like, don't come back here, whatever. But
and they're fucking savage.
Yes, exactly. That literally ripping each other apart. Sorry, I keep saying literally. I hate doing that.
I'm gonna have to head out. I'm recording another show tonight.
Yeah, go.
I gotta eat something.
Nice to see you.
Bye, friends. Good to
Good
see you.
luck. Have
Bye,
fun.
Ben.
Bye, Ben. I love you.
Bye.
Thank you for being here. Say hi to Sydney for me.
But yeah, just it's kind of interesting that like those are our two closest ancestors, and it's like, well, which one are we closer related to? Yes. So like, which are we more like? It's like it totally depends.
We split from Pannons before Pannons diversified, so there is no right answer to that, right?
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Repeat that, Bree. What were you saying?
So chimps and bonobos are in a genus called Pan, so they're Pannons. We split off from Pannons before they split from each other, so we're equally related to both of them the same distance because we have the same common ancestor with both clades, with both species.
So it really is, like that old thing that like, line between good and evil runs down the middle of every human heart.
Or every chimpanzee's heart.
That too.
So instead of 2 wolves or 2 apes.
Yes, inside you are 2 apes. One of them likes orgies and the other one likes war.
That sounds about right.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Inside you are two monkeys, one or two. What do you say? 2 chimpanzees.
2 apes.
2 apes. 2 apes.
2 apes.
One,
2 apes. Like because of the 2 wolves analogy, I'm gonna go with 2 apes.
Bonobos and chimps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can we?
I did not know
do
that.
the orgy instead of the war? We have enough.
Can we put that on a T-shirt with a monkey with an ape face? That'd be good.
Yeah, like a bonobo.
A little bonobo showing its butt.
Have a chimp on one tit and a bonobo on the other.
Oh yes.
On the other.
And then I would say underneath, inside you are 2 apes. one wants orgies, the other wants war. Which one are you willing to satisfy?
Thank you, Ember. Exactly, Ember. Like war versus orgies. I pick orgy.
Me too.
Well, that's what life is, just a series of wars and orgies.
Hi, Miss Sound Sequitur. Hi, honey. It kind of is like it is either orgy or war, and I'm more on the orgy end. I don't like violence. It tends to be ugly and gross, and
Bo left,
and,
but
and not good for orgasms. So like. Not a good time.
Bo left, but he was telling me about the Choctaw tradition of how they did their wars back in the day. Was that they'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna send our freaking hottest dudes to your village to tempt your women into running away with them." That's how they did wars. Like instead of
that is really
stabbing
hot.
each other, it was the war of strange, right?
Well, like there was like the and like old like Celtic and Scandinavian communities, like it would be like a verbal battle before they would actually like take up arms, and they would get like their best like linguists to basically do rap battles. That's like that, like it was done through poetry rather than actually getting violent. And then if they couldn't settle, then it might like you would raise up arms. But now it's just like whoever has the biggest nuclear dickhead, that's going on.
We just didn't start blowing each other up now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just
Immediately.
like, I'm like, you need to work on your verbal skills. Like I would,
Yeah,
I
like-
would much. Oh my god, can you imagine Donald Trump in a rap battle? Like I
There is rap
I don't
battles of
wanna-
Donald Trump. I mean, it's actors playing him, but the epic
Yeah.
rap battles of history has him for every election he's been in. It has him rap
no,
battling
I
Joe
have not-
Biden.
I haven't watched rap battles of history in like 8 years. I haven't like I haven't like because I love myself.
That's
Like,
early YouTube.
it is like a thing. Like I find this I don't know. I keep wondering to myself, like, is the time we're all living in this weird, or is it just us? Because like I wonder if like my the people in the past or people in the future that I will never know, like, are going to be looking at the current time of living going like, what the fuck's going on? Because
I think that hatred and like all of the craziness that's going on was a little bit more hidden in the past because we didn't have social media. So now we have access to seeing the ambassador live, as it's happening. So
I was reading. There was an interesting, like I think it was an article or something I read. But it was essentially talking about the current moment and really like most social movements and big things that happen in terms of like a phase shift. So kind of like how ice, like so water doesn't freeze until all of the water is at 32 degrees, and then all of that energy that is getting taken out of the water doesn't drop the temperature anymore, but it's working on fusing that into ice. And then at some point, that phase shift will happen, but it happens slowly and then all at once, right? And so I think that's like a pretty interesting way to think about like gay marriage, for example. I feel like there was a phase shift there where sort of it seemed like, Obama was against it, right? And then all of a sudden everybody was for it. And then
because Joe Biden told him that he basically said, like, oh yeah, he's fine with gay people. Obama was basically like, well, I guess I am.
Hey, Jack,
Like,
I'm serious. Listen, it's for real. Gay people are cool. Anyway,
basically, gay grandpa, pro gay grandpa told Obama that he was, and he's like, yeah, sure, like,
yeah,
which he probably was, but like because of him being a Black person in a public office was more like, well, let's ease into like, and then Joe Biden's like, no, he's totally okay with gay people getting married.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's another good point. About how it, like, how all the hatred kind of came out of the woodwork when Obama was elected. And I mean, I think for a lot of people, it was very easy. Like me as a white person, I'm going to bring up race relations. Don't worry about it. It's interesting how, well, more than interesting, but it's interesting how like everybody could kind of pretend that racism was like solved, like, oh yeah, the Civil Rights Act, like people can vote, it's fine. But then when he was elected, we had like crowds of people with, effigies of Obama hanging from a noose, and like, and nothing was really done about that. You know what I mean? You have people. You had those like the back of the pickup truck, those decals with like Obama or Biden like tied up in the back. You know what I mean? Like there was something deeply wrong that was never really addressed.
I had someone casually, one of my coworkers casually say to me, the blacks, a couple weeks ago, and I was like, what? And I was just like, and I think because I was white, they thought I would be okay with that. I'm like, that is racist. Please don't say that in front of me. I find that deeply offensive. Do not do that. Considering 90% of our workforce are people of color, like, nice. please don't do that. And it's like this casual, like, racism. Like, I don't want active harm to come to people of color, but also I think they're subhuman. Like, that's which I find more insidious. Like, I'd rather you be I don't want you to be racist, but at least be open about it and like disgusting about it. Like when you do this like benevolent sort of like apologetic racism, I'm
Right.
like, okay, like please stop.
Exactly. Well, it's like, well, I'm not racist. How dare you? In fact, I'm offended that you thought I could be racist.
You
Right?
racist, yeah.
And it's like, then at that point, you're not really even having a conversation, right? Like you don't even get to address the issue. It's simply about, you know, what, like how I see myself, and because I don't see myself as, you know, problematic, then, you know, anyway.
Yeah, I know someone like that who is like, he's both racist and homophobic and transphobic, obviously.
You're our president.
Yay.
all the things, all the awful things.
It's a family member. That's the worst part. But he's always like, whenever we get into these like heated arguments, he's like, well, no, but I have a black employee, or I have a gay whatever. And I'm like, yeah, so what?
My brother's like that too. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I have a black coworker, and we just laugh about this stuff. It's like, yeah, I bet you do. So,
And
well, like, and the fact that
My
if
one
you
black
have
friend.
to mention you know, I have a black friend or I have a gay friend, and I'm like, can't you just mention you have a friend? Like, what does it matter? Unless you're talking specific, like, you know, like my person happens to be black and they were talking about like things that are affecting their community. When I'm talking about my friends, I tend not to mention their sexuality, gender, or race. I just have to say like, hey, my friend so-and-so said this, blah, 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 blah.
Oh no, but they use it to like be like, hey, no, I'm not racist because I have this black friend. There's like, no, you're still racist.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and bounce. I'm gonna be on. I just want to kind of plug real quick because I'm gonna be on Bad Science Sunday tonight on Maya Atkinson's channel.
Oh yeah, Maya, which I have to. Maya knows she has to be on my channel. So
yeah. So I wanted to make sure to be able to plug that. That's in about an hour and a half from now. So if anybody wants to pop over there after y'all wrap up here, we'll be doing.
Maya does. I love Maya. Like I love like her content. Like is really really good because like I love Bad Science. It is. Maya, I'm gonna DM you, and you're gonna be on my show. Just because I said so, and I follow and tell people all the time.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to get some food between then and now.
It's fine.
So
like this is like.
Thank you for having me. It's nice to
wait,
see you
like,
all.
honey, I can't.
Nice.
Like
Yeah.
in 2 months we're gonna get drunk together.
Good
Like
to
we're
see
gonna
you
get drunk
again.
together.
Oh,
And make
yeah.
out.
Bye,
Good
Martin.
thing.
Bye.
I love you. Bye.
Awesome. Yeah, because she's coming to Texas, right? With you.
Yeah, like I'm gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. Well, I'm gonna
I'm
be
sorry,
in
no,
El Paso.
no, no.
I don't know.
She's in
I know
Texas.
me.
I mean-
okay. I don't know if Bree's gonna come to Back Cruise with us, but I
Okay.
do know I will be in Ben's house, probably getting drunk and making out with Bree at some point.
Nice.
As
Sounds
one
like a good
does.
time.
What?
I should have asked her if she's coming to NanoCon with Dr. Ben. I hope. Maybe they're going together.
This is the thing about having like only 3 weeks of vacation that there's only so much time that I'm like, hey, what can I do? Because I told myself next year I'm going to the American Atheist Conference. Like that is a thing I'm going to do next year. It will be a thing. But I told myself Back Cruise. Todd's really mad he can't do Back Cruise this year because he borrowed against his PTO because I get 3 weeks, he only gets 1. Stupid job. But so Todd was like, hey, I'll go to Back Cruise with you because like I kind of pushed him into hanging out with all my cool atheist friends. And he really wanted to go because he really wanted to take photographs of the bats and also meet Kelly, who has been like an awesome supporter, like because Kelly's an amazing human being. So
I don't know if he's coming, but I'm hoping he'll make it.
Or is that Kelly, like Kelly Laughlin, or different?
Yeah,
Kelly?
Laughlin.
Kelly Laughlin. Yeah, like our
He's
Kelly.
the best.
Like
He's the best.
That was wonderful. I was
you
on the
were
nonprofit
also
once upon a
like
time. Yeah.
Martin was also a wonderful human being when we thought we were going to lose our house. Surprise me, fuck you. Like, by the way, because he's like, hey, I have friends that are going to be in Sarasota. I want to get them a good place to eat. And we spent our anniversary at a restaurant with a gift card that Martin bought for us because he was a tricky bastard.
Aw.
I just happened to, I had the resources at the time, and throughout my life, I've noticed a trend. I can be an impulsive spender, but I prefer to impulsively spend on my friends.
Not
on myself.
I cannot express
I had the means,
Like-
and
like-
I had the moment to touch a heart, and I thought it was the best thing I could do. So
no, it
It
was
didn't make me
like
cry.
we waited until we were settled and we went out for our anniversary, and it was very, very sweet.
Oh,
But like Kelly
so glad.
also offered us a place to live when we thought we were going to lose
Aw.
our house, and
Kelly's
so
amazing.
like this is why I love my people.
Yeah. I was gonna say, obviously I was one of many contributors, but I put together a GoFundMe to get Kelly the car that one time. Like the
Yeah,
atheist
I know,
community
right?
just supports itself.
Like I did
You
that
know,
GoFundMe
it's
to
so
help him out when he was like, hey, I'm worried about like not being able to pay my bills and my mortgage, which like. To be like, I had some guy like DM me on BlueSky, and he was like, "What's this fundraiser by?" I'm like, "Listen, I'm doing this for my friend. I'm not going to share his personal information." He's like, "Well, if you can't tell me what this fundraiser," I'm like, "Then don't contribute. It's
Correct.
fine."
Easy.
But I'm not gonna. I'm like, I'm doing this to help my friend. You can contribute or not, but like, do not sit there
Don't
and
ask for
DM
receipts
me
either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you don't.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
like, I'm not privy to share that information. I'm just trying to help my friend.
Yeah, if you either trust somebody to do the right thing or you don't, and if you don't contribute. We put together a GoFundMe for ourselves. I never thought I'd be in that situation, but my parents, bless their hearts, they've done enough for us, and I couldn't ask any more of them, regardless of their means. And though we're getting a little stretched thin. And so we put together a GoFundMe, and I gotta say, just a quick shout out, because I doubt anybody from my car sales past is watching right now, and if they are, hi. Remember me? That
If
one.
they stumble upon this in the future, hello.
Yeah, right. But anyway,
welcome to the queer side of YouTube.
No, the reason I wanted to was there's three types of people, categories, I guess I should say, that donated to the GoFundMe, and I don't expect anybody to, except for people who own multiple properties. Those are the people who I expect to, and they all did. In my life, at least, those people who know me. But no, it was direct relatives of mine, people I went to high school with, and specifically food service workers from my past, like coworkers or subordinates, people that I've hired, trained, etc. And those are the three people. People who make 100 to 300,000 a year selling cars couldn't be bothered, not a penny. And so it just goes to show it doesn't matter what you have, it matters who you love and what you do with what you have to show, support each other. Anyway, it's never about the dollars.
No, it's one of the this is the thing about like being part of like when you realize that it is just us. You can't pray it away. You can't like hope that someone's going to care. It's like, no, it's people that step up.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's why I'm always like, hey, what do you need? What do you need? I can't give you everything, but I can offer help.
I want to plug somebody real quick, if that's okay. Yeah. Not somebody I know personally, but I feel comfortable based on observing their YouTube channel going back a couple of years. Kat Abaguzale. Don't ask me to spell it. I can barely pronounce it properly, but I wanted to make sure I did. Kat Abaguzale. She's running for the 9th district.
Oh my God! It came right up.
That's good.
Wait, do you know who that is? Kat. Anyway, she's running for the 9th district of Illinois.
Is it ABUGHA? Like
I would do this. Search 9th District, Illinois congressional race.
It came right up. It came. I put in.
Oh, okay.
I put in 5 letters.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so what she does with her campaign funds, she does not send out mass texts. She does not send out mass emails. She does not send out mass flyers because those are all bullshit. They don't work. Otherwise, the Democrats would have taken it in a landslide. You know what I mean? And had better
she's super
candidates
cute.
for it.
I'm sorry. I'm
You know what
going
she
to
does?
objectify her. She's very cute.
Oh, she's great. Anyway, even I say that. So no, what she does is she does two things. She does like stand up, making fun of Republicans, which is phenomenal. And then she also buys like pink products, like tampons, pads for women in her district.
Oh,
And
that's
donates to food
amazing. Good
pantries
for
in
her. I love
district.
her already.
I'm just like, oh my God, like what a fucking genius. She's going to win in a landslide. She has to, because she's out there shaking thousands and thousands of people's hands. It's going to make me fucking tear up because this is what we need. This is the leadership we need right now. So, you know, people
Someone
like
that
her
has
just
actual
so
fucking
grassroots.
empathy.
Yeah, exactly. And doesn't take corporate money, you know?
Well, like, and that's the thing, okay, yes, we live in hell. Like, we live in Gilead. It's great. Everybody. But also, that being said, at least like we are now realizing that we got very used to corporate people influencing politics, and now we're like, oh no, we actually have to take control.
Yeah.
And grassroots I have to get back to one of my there's this guy Manny that's running for mayor. He lost the last election, but I told him I would help him with the social media. This is local to Port Charlotte. And he believes in the separation of church and state. He is all for individual rights. He is against any sort of like corporate backing. And he was like, I need help with social media. So I was like, hey, and we met at the not the No Kings protest, one before. And I said, hey, if you hit me up, I'll help you with your social media. That's the type of shit that you kind of have to do. So that's how it happens. It doesn't happen. Hi, Matt Pig. Hi, honey. That's kind of where I am right now, where it's like, I don't know what I can do, but I'm gonna try to do what I can. Because that's
there you go.
Yeah, like I can help you with social media. Am I good at my own social media? Not the best, but because like you're asking me to help you, I'm gonna have to raise the bar.
Yeah.
And I'll probably have him on my podcast to talk about like the things that he cares about, you know, as a local politician. Which
That's
I think
awesome,
that
though.
is
I
a
love
platform
that.
I can offer him. So
100%. I love that. That's great.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Again, you said mayor, is that right?
Yeah, he's running for mayor
Local
of
mayor.
Port Charlotte. Because like,
Gotcha.
It's very weird. Like, I know you left Florida. I don't blame you. I'm very mad that you left Florida before we could actually meet in person and give each other hugs. I know, but I forgive you.
There's a million reasons to come to upstate New York. I'm just saying.
Listen, like, I don't know, like, well,
no good reason.
If you go to Baja Con, you're in upstate New York. If you go to Baja Con, which I promise Nancy, my internet wife, I would go to Baja Con.
Baja Con.
Not this year. It's not happening this year.
Okay.
It's in Canada.
Upstate, Amber, upstate, you say?
It's in Canada, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but it's like right over the I think it's right on the border of like it's like not far from Niagara.
Yeah.
Hey, the further from Mar-a-Lago, the better.
Okay. I don't want
Trump intensifies.
I don't want hurricanes to affect my state, but
they also stopped measuring for them. Just FYI.
If I could influence weather, it'd be like, I want you to go to West Palm Beach and to Mar-a-Lago. Like, if I believe, when I was pagan, I thought I could influence the weather gods.
So I'm gonna plug real quick. Next week on Thursday, on the 26th. I know it's the days that you have your show too, I think. But Jeff and Jason Freer are gonna be on my show on my channel talking about BajaCon.
They were
So,
on my
that'd be
channel
fun.
like a month
Oh,
ago
it's an
talking about
atheist
Baja
thing.
Con.
Yeah, I'm so
Like
down. I
they've
didn't
been on my
understand what it
channel
was
too
off the
talking
name.
about Baja Con.
Gotcha.
And then Jason made me feel bad because I wasn't going to be there. I'm like, listen, I have to get a passport and I have to do this whole thing to get to Canada. So
Yeah,
I can
thankfully, we
technically
just got
become
our
a Canadian
passports.
citizen because my mom is still a Canadian citizen.
Oh, there you go.
So I can still become a Canadian citizen, technically, because my mom is.
Yeah.
And it's like, here's the thing, like I don't think she's gonna get deported because she's old and in a nursing home. She's not defecting against the government. But also there's a little part of me, I'm like, it might happen. Like,
Yeah, no, like literally, it's fucking crazy right now. We both got our passports. Matthew is dual citizenship, German and American, so we can bounce if we need to. I mean, assuming everything else doesn't fucking fall apart. But at the same, oh no,
we lost Helen.
we lost the host. The chicken has
The
no head
host.
and is now running amok.
Now we can do anything we want. Okay, we have
kidding.
ownership of the whole stream. Oh no, so Matt is from Germany. That's cool. My parents
No,
live in
actually.
Oh. The whole
Sorry,
okay, there we
hello.
go.
I hit
We were
I hit
freaking
a
out.
button.
You sure did.
I have okay. To be fair, oh my god, I have a gaming computer, and if you hit like the side buttons on my mouse,
I know
it will pull
does all
you
weird
out.
things.
So that's what
Oh,
happens.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, no, he
fucking
grew up in the
technology.
States. He lived in Germany for like 9 months when he was a teenager. But his dad's a German citizen, so he has it by ancestry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool,
and a
cool.
German passport and everything, so we can literally bounce if we have to. I mean, I think going to Canada would probably be easier if we had to leave America. I don't know if we'll have to leave America. We live in a pretty safe area.
Okay, like I could move to Quebec. Like I got relatives in Quebec. Like I could. I hate winter. I just like the whole point of me moving down here was to get to winter. And now I'm stuck because we just bought our house last year and we're signing into a 3-year mortgage and like, hey, but also too, like this is my kind of feeling too, like, if I'm going to be stuck here and as a cis presenting person that is also queer, like I want to be a safe place for people and a voice for people that can't leave. Because there are many people that do not have the privilege of being able to leave certain areas. And because I have a little bit of privilege, I'm going to use that privilege to my advantage. Especially
and the advantage of the community too, not just you personally.
Yeah, like that's the way I'm looking at it. Like my oldest is stuck here and also non-binary trans and bisexual and doesn't fit into the mold. Also too intelligent. Because like, and the way I'm looking at it is just like, no, like you can try to pretend that like queer people don't exist, but we just exist. Like we just are. And it's always like, because I don't believe like I have met people that voted for Trump and they're not racist assholes. Like those are the squeaky wheel, they're just misinformed. And that's a big thing because I've been like, I'm not racist. I'm not like queerphobic. I just wanted like his economic policies. Like they just bought some bullshit he was saying.
Chronically misinformed, but yes.
They're yeah. And it's just like, okay, but I'm like, the thing is though, for his policies to work, it is a squash down of other groups, and I think they're not thinking it as a through line, and that's a lack of education, which is a problem just in the United States with people not being able to think critically, and that is just a problem. Yeah, but they're fine.
I think a lot of them too, like, don't really watch the news. Like my sisters don't really watch the news much. I don't think they voted for Trump. Okay, like this past time at least. But they're like really uninformed. Like if you ask them about, I don't know, Iran and Israel war, they will be like, oh, what is happening? You know, like they don't keep up at all. And I feel like a lot of people that voted for Trump are like that. Like they
Emma, you want to come and join us on the panel? I can give you a link. I'll leave you a number if you want to come join us while we're talking about bullshit.
And I won't feel bad about being muted. This will be a third voice.
Yeah.
Sorry, I need to feed myself real quick, but I'm here.
Well, like I think also like with my frustration, like Ember, I will DM you the link if you want to join us because I love you. There's a link. Yes, Matt Pig, there's a link. No, not for you. I don't know. If you're queer, you have to be queer to be on this panel, Matt Pig. Like that's the rule.
You have to be vetted.
It's a pride panel. Like I know you love me, but I have standards. Like they're low standards.
They're straight washing pride.
I will straight wash pride.
Like, oh, speaking of panel, okay, I'm so excited. Actually, I remember when Sydney was in the chat, but so I was planning on going to NanoCon and I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it, but then I was like, I found out that I'm gonna be able to make it, and now Sydney just asked me yesterday if I wanted to be on her panel, and I am like,
I love Sydney.
I love her.
Is that Sydney?
She's so awesome.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, Sydney's amazing. Like
Sydney's wonderful. I was on the nonprofits with I'm sorry, I don't remember the pronouns.
I've been on Sydney's channel and I have to get Sydney on my channel because like when Sydney, like it's been a minute. Oh my god, how many fucking podcasts have I been on? Like I'm like I was thinking of how many I'm like. And now I'm like re-inviting people in the community, like, hey, you want to be on my channel? Like, hey, come back. Like, SR is going to make his third appearance like in a couple weeks. I'm having Mikey on next week. No, I'm having Mikey. It's this week. I'm having him on Thursday, which reminds me I have to get what he wants to talk about. Like, because like this is the thing about like I felt really bad. Again, this is okay. Listen, you motherfuckers. You do not exist until you're in front of my face. I'm sorry. Like you've kind of faded out. It's object permanence. It's the ADHD way. Like you do not exist. Exactly. Martin does not exist until he's in front of my face. Now he exists. Now he exists. And now he doesn't.
It's just you and me now.
It is like, and that's why whenever you DM me, I get very excited because I'm like, oh my god, so and so is like DMing me, and then I get very happy. It is just the ADHD way, is not a thing. So, I had asked Mikey on like months ago, like when I had like Neil on, and then like about like a month and a half ago, I was like, hey Mikey, you should be on my show.
That's cool.
So I should have had him on for Juneteenth, but he's gonna be on next week. So
yeah,
he's gonna be on this Thursday.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on Neil's show in September. I think it's September 13th. Yeah, something like that.
It's, okay, and to be fair, I don't follow. Like, I will subscribe to your channel. I'm probably not gonna watch it. I'm just gonna say because, like, I'm sorry. There's too many of us.
I know. I tried.
Too many of us. Wait, go ahead, Martin.
No, I just saying. Oh, she blunt.
Like that's how I kind of feel about like this community. Like I am very supportive of all of it. Like I'm very supportive of the Transpositions podcast. Like Ember, I love you. I'm not watching your content. I will promote it and tell
Transposition?
me watch it, but I'm not watching it because I only got so much time. Also, it's the same night that I do my show. So.
Yeah, like, I usually try to get in the live chats and like at least catch a little bit of the live shows. Yeah.
Like I don't even watch ACA content anymore. Like I watch clips. I watch clips of our content, but I don't actually watch our content. I don't even watch nonprofits, and I'm on the nonprofits. Like, I don't watch anything because, like, I also, to be fair, like, sometimes I just want to watch movies and listen to music and hang out with my husband and also play Blueprints and Baldur's Gate. I think there's a part of me that I'm trying to balance, like, activism and compassion fatigue with, like, having a normal life. And I because, like, for a while I was very much like, I have to be an activist, I have to be, like, front and center, like, I have to do all the things. And now I'm just like, I'm taking a step back. Ember, also, by the way, I'm glad that you're okay, because I've been going through some shit. I'm glad that you are here, and I love you very much. So I'm glad, like, if you're in a better place right now, I hope so, because I was going to DM you about what you were going through, but then I was like, should I DM her? And then I was like, maybe not. But I'm glad to see you. And if someone's being an asshole to you, I will cut a bitch. So, because I will.
Okay. Speaking of spending time with family, I'm gonna have to go.
No, I'm gonna shut down. It's 8:30. We've been here for 2.5 hours. My husband has made dinner. So
wait, I just want to say real quick. I just looked up. I want to get the name right. The Transpositions. What a great set of hosts. I mean, Bree and
they're all amazing.
I've had the pleasure of meeting very briefly once. And then Carly and Ember, I'm not familiar with, but I will go check it out. That's great.
Ember's awesome. Ember's awesome.
Ember, I love.
No doubt.
Like, Ember is one of my favorite people. Like, I love them so much. Okay, so anyway, what I have coming up, I will tell you. So Mikey's going to be here on Thursday. SR will be here on the 3rd, the day before the 4th of July. And then I have Chris Shelton and I are going to have a discussion on AD neurodivergent people on July 7th. Neurodivergent people being attracted to cults. So we're going to have a conversation about that on the 7th. Yeah, because, like, he has a theory, because he's also ADHD and he was in Scientology, and I was like, hey, this is very attractive to someone that could have fallen into cult-like thinking as a neurodivergent person. So we're going to have a conversation about that. So we're going to do that on the 7th. I don't know what me and Mikey are going to talk about on Thursday. I'll ask him. And then SR, don't know what we're going to talk about. I also have John Radabush from the ACA is going to be on the 17th. And then I'm going to have Captain Dapool on the 24th. So that's what I have coming up in July. If you want to be on the show, do the thing. Email me here. Emailing me here. Do that. I want to thank you for the people that were here. I know Kara tried, and then the internet gods were like, fuck you. Also, Martin and AJ and Dr. Ben and Bree and Bo, thank you so much for being here. This is like it wasn't total like I hate everything, which is great.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we've been going for 2.5 hours till you said it.
I know.
I had a smoke break. I had a snack break.
I love when people are like, like I've had people like, what am I talking about for an hour and a half? I'm like, oh, honey, we'll find something to talk about.
Most people have trouble getting me to shut up after just an hour.
Yeah.
Right.
Fair.
Opposite problem.
Well, and you know, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you, again, want to be part of this shit, email me here.
Do I need to email you or can I DM you?
No, because if we're already friends, just DM me. And be like, I want to be back on your channel. I am looking for guests because I have to fill up August and September.
Oh,
so
I'm always down.
Yeah, like, dude, you should talk about your move to New York and why it happened and all that stuff and what you've been up to. AJ, I know you've been up to some shit. So AJ, I have to be on your channel.
Yeah, AJ, what's
So I
your
look at
channel?
you
Yes.
I want to make
pointedly.
sure I go
I'm
sub
gonna
in.
give you a pointed look.
Both of you.
Wait,
Yeah.
AJ, what ways to
I can
human is that your
DM you
channel?
like we do every week and just be like,
Yeah, mine is Ways to Human.
Okay, subscribed.
yeah, like
Yay,
and
thank
subscribe. Do all the
Let me go
things.
find it on my other channel.
All the links to everybody that other than a couple people. If you look up Bo on OnlyFans, you'll find her. Him. I don't know what pronouns they're using right now, so I'm gonna say them. They, them. Because they're still working out that stuff. Anyway, I'm trying to be. I don't know. I'm doing
Them
my
is
best.
generally a safe option if you're
They,
really
them.
not sure.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah,
rule.
like my
Rule
roommate
of
is
them, if
my
you will.
roommate is still trying to figure things out, and I'm like they, them, and they're like I don't really any pronoun. So, but they, them is usually a good option. There was somebody that was there was a comic that said like I can't keep track of all the pronouns. Like there's 9. Like he and his, she, her, hers, and they, them, theirs. Like why the
Crazy.
hard? Why they hard? So
Yeah.
if you
It's really
can't
not
keep track of that, that's a you problem.
I was gonna say I have a little quip that I throw at people, and I always have this locked and loaded, locked and loaded in my lips, of course. I always say it's not complicated unless you make it complicated. And then they think about it and they're like, no, it's complicated because it's a different word. And then no, it's not fucking complicated, actually. Thank you.
Like if you don't know the person and
Yeah.
you're talking about them, I just said it. You're talking about them. Why? I just did it.
Yeah.
Like my oldest is they, them. And I will occasionally refer to them as she, her, and I automatically correct myself because I'm like, hey, this is what they prefer to be called. And as long as you autocorrect yourself, you're fine.
Correct.
So don't be an asshole.
Yeah, just like if you, sometimes I meet somebody named Steve, I call him Scott by mistake. Like, oops, sorry, moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on. Or
Sorry,
if
Steve.
like you meet someone named Matthew, I prefer to be called Matt.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say opposite in his case. He likes Matthew.
Okay, like my
okay.
son is an Andrew. My son is an Andrew, not an Andy, or Drew.
Yeah. See, if
It
somebody
is
calls
Andrew.
me Marty, oh no. If you are not my aunt, one aunt of all of the aunts that I have one aunt that's allowed to call me Marty, and my friend Michael's mother is allowed to call me Marty. Those are the 2. My mother doesn't call me
No,
Marty.
I
She's
will
allowed to. She
like
just doesn't.
my dad tried calling my son Andrew Andy, and I was like, no, he is an Andrew. Thank you. Like you use his full name. Thank you very much. So anyway, if you want to use your full name or whatever pronouns you want to use, you are welcome here. This is a safe space for anyone in the queer community. If you are like, I just try to make this as an all-exclusive space because that we need more of in this place of complete chaos.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to wish everybody a good night. Give someone a compliment. Stay kind, stay skeptical, and I will see you all here on Thursday. Bye, motherfuckers.
Bye.
Have a good night. Bye. Mwah.
Bye. Good to see you guys.
Mwah.